but poker. Um, or a selection of board games or other party games. That's sort of what I would like to play. Jackbox, I think, is the technological evolution of some of those games. Catchphrase was fun back in the day.
It's like the titular board game you expect at a board game night.
It could go one of two ways. It could sort of be like a simple table game, like Bananagrams or something. Or it could be like Betrayal. I've definitely been invited to a game night that wound up being like 4 hours of board game, and that was great. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
Take it
Hello,
away.
my name is Lawrence, and I play the DeLuca's Chop House answering machine. Now, when I think about getting invited to a game night, you guys are talking about, in an ideal situation, I might mystery game night, blah, blah, blah. But here's how I feel. If I'm invited to a game night, I expect that we get through one long form game or several short form games. If it's game night, we're gaming. I want to hang out with you too, but you said it was game night. So let's get these games going.
Different short form games or several like rounds of the same? Is it two
Uh,
games or is it like
there
five
are
games?
many. I would say there are many short form games nowadays that have replayability, more replayability, like different scenarios and stuff like that. But I mean, even if you're just playing pretty standard board game like Sorry or something like that, you can get through several rounds of Sorry pretty quick.
That is true. Most of those like Sorry, Monopoly level of board games have been banned from most of my family game nights. My brother,
intense, huh?
Sorry.
my brother is hyper competitive. I mean, Sorry might be our answer to the games that have been banned, like Monopoly. No Monopoly in our house.
I'm here to win, but I'm not going to be aggressive about it. I'm just going to be calculating.
My brother knows the rules front to back and will tell you when you've done wrong.
I'm just going to be over here trying to find loopholes.
He memorized the book and will let you know about it.
The book published when? Which
came.
version of the book?
Whichever one is in that box.
Mm.
He picked it up when we started setting up.
And I am Michael, and I play Spigot, the water bearer. And for me, game nights for a long time, our standing go-to game was a card game called Dominion. But I'm also a big fan of Carcassonne, but Carcassonne is not a small time investment. You better have 3 to 4 hours if you're going to play Carcassonne. So,
what is Carcassonne?
Carcassonne is a strategy board game with meeples about building your empire, your buildings, your fields, all kinds of things. It's based on a small French town that got wiped out and rebuilt every time the next set of troops came through.
What's a meeple?
I was mostly stuck up on the word meeple.
Meeples are the little wooden people figures.
Oh, okay.
We have a big event in Kansas City called Meeple-a-thon, and now I understand.
Yes.
Lawrence the whole time has just been like, why am I here? What the fuck is happening?
I mean, it's a board game convention.
It's my
I was
vibe,
excited to go for it, but now I understand why it's called that. Great.
How do you spell Carcassonne?
Carcasonne, I believe.
Dang, Carcassonne.
I didn't realize there was going to be a quiz tonight. I was not
C-A-R-C? Oh.
Okay, wait, no.
L-N-O-P-Q.
Google's got me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Carcassonne, okay.
Carcassonne
I'm looking
game.
it in.
You can also play online if you don't have other
$31
players. You
on
could
Amazon,
play
but I bet
online
we
with
could
others
find it
virtually.
On the virtual.
Oh, I bet we could find it on virtual.
table.
Yeah, tabletop, 100%. Tabletop simulator.
Yeah. Okay.
Hell yeah.
And my name is Grace, and I play Petal, and who is no one, and just no one special. And I grew up going to game nights. And didn't want to hang out with because everyone else, all other families had boys. I was the only girl, and so they would go downstairs and play like Smash Brothers or watch YouTube videos or be boys. And so I always would sit at the table with the adults and just watch them play cards because I was not old enough yet. And then eventually I would try and play and not be good. But when I got into high school, we played mostly card games, but would usually warm up with catchphrase, like Gabe said.
Like, are you like
which
deck
is
of
like our
card
warm-up.
games? Like, what's your card games of choice?
Yeah, growing up, my family played a lot of 8 and back, which is long and terrible.
What?
Uh,
Wait, you don't like 8 and back?
No, I do I like 8 and back, but
Long and
As
terrible.
I just
the-
don't like who I
say.
become when I play 8 and back.
as the youngest always playing, I was always the worst because figuring it out was so hard. Everyone else would play 8 and back, and I would play like 3 and back because I was I was like 9 and still figuring out what to bid and everything.
That's
Hey,
so
what's
funny.
up, YouTube? It's your boy Aiden back.
I think you were still middle of the pack. You were still better than some of the folks who were there.
Well,
But
Middle of
then
the
once I
pack.
hit high school, and I was, actually getting really good at card games, we played this game called Hodgepodge. This card game, it's 5 rounds, and every round is a different rule, and the final round is all the rules at the same time. And there's like point systems and stuff, and it's always a lot of fun, and it's really fun with the big group because you can do 2 decks, and then that's even more fun.
Yeah.
But I didn't play a lot of board games growing up, mostly card games.
We used to
We
do a
were
big
really-
card
Besides
game.
Risk.
No, we
Ooh.
played,
Risk was the
we
one
played
board
a
game.
lot of Risk.
We used to do a big card game, and I don't remember the name of the game, but whoever won the hand would get to make up a rule for the next time we played. And so by
Now,
the time you end, you have like 52 rules you're trying to remember. Like, well, when
Yeah.
I play a 6, I have to jump up and down or take the little guy off my beer before I drink him or whatever that is. Like, just like little rules that are stacked. And so by the end, you're like all fucked up on rules and maybe
Yeah,
alcohol.
we had we had a game called like that, and we called it Mao.
Oh, that's what you said. Yes, Mao. Yeah, 100% that is the game. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Okay. And then on this episode, we also have a special guest, a very special guest. We're going to welcome in Jonathan to our little group. He'll be playing a guest that he'll be playing I almost called him an NPC again, but he can't be that.
No, I'm an NPC. It's fine.
No. Well, he may be one, but his character is now a PC.
In life and art.
In life and art. Introduce yourself to us. Say hello.
Hi. My name's Jonathan. I'll be playing the kid who will be introduced soon, I hope.
Be a wild session if we just didn't quite get to the kid
Right.
this time around.
I just sit here quietly. I grew up playing lots of games. I've played tabletop games for many, many years now. But growing up, I guess my game night with my family was always Monopoly. We'd all wear ridiculous hats. Inevitably get into fights. Tables got flipped. It was pretty heated. And Monopoly's probably awful to play with. Children especially. Children are evil. But we
How
did our
ridiculous
best.
are we talking for these hats?
I had a sailor hat that I
Okay.
would wear for a while, like a weird white captain's hat with like a little black brim. My mom would have these ridiculous like a winter hat, but it had like a big pom pom and like long frilly
Yes.
Okay.
things.
Theodore has like a satchel of hats that
Yep.
whenever we're like
Yeah.
doing something goofy, he brings out
Whenever
the hat
you
bag.
need a weird hat, I have this
Mhm.
box in my closet,
Yeah.
Gabe.
We had a
big
bunch of weird hats.
cardboard box.
Yeah, my brother had like a top hat with like a feather in it at one point he was wearing, which was too big for him.
Sure.
It was great. Yeah.
That's how you know it's fancy if it's just
Oversized
slightly
hat
too
is
big.
huge. Oversized
Yeah.
hat is huge.
And then Super Smash Bros. As a teenager for sure. Video
Yeah.
games and D&D now mostly.
D&D
That's what I
now
wanna
mostly.
play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Even when I'm playing other games, I'm like thinking about the next time I might be playing D&D. Okay. Introductions out of the way. Let's get caught up on what happened last time. I was thinking all day, kind of pressuring myself, like, why aren't you listening to the episode? Why aren't you listening to the episode? But that's because I know what happened. And that is that you guys played pinball on a pinball board. You wiped out a few of the crew members, and you made some points in doing so. I have said that the points are esoteric, and I have given you guys set numbers of points. If anyone has kept up with those, please let me know. But the idea is like, your points are going up for doing things now.
Yeah, I've got like 13 billion now.
Oh, right.
Is that
Well,
right?
it can't be that. Can't be that. That's a high score. That's a new high
It's
score.
close to that, though, right?
You're right.
You can't have more points than boobies.
I think right. I think
Yeah,
I have you.
the most.
It's true. Well, you have a different number now.
Yeah, I have more than boobies.
You have 8009135. You got 1,000 points.
Has Petal always had that on her face?
She does in the PNG. If you zoom in very close, which you can't really do, the numbers down the side of her face read 8008135.
See, and the ironic thing is, the art designer also kept on giving me boobies, even though my female character is ambiguous. Like this, so they forgot the boobies on my face, but gave me boobies on my chest.
I think I had to repeat the note 3 times, and in the end, I was like, please just remove any presence of boobies on that character. Just remove
Just the
the
word.
thing you have added in to make it look like boobies under this
Yeah,
coat.
I think they increased the cleavage.
Yeah, the
even
first time they made it bigger. They made you more voluptuous, which is crazy.
Boobies yes, boobies no.
Boobies yes, boobies no. But anyway, we all made some points. We beat some guys, and we have opened the first door to escape the pinball board towards the racetracks, and ran up and off the pinball board away from the pinball. During that, we have beat the system in a fun way, caught the ball and stopped it and drug it around and used it to hit the things we needed it to hit, which was a good idea. At some point I was going to be like, no, you can't do that, but why can't you do that if you do it? You did it. You did it well. So you caught the ball and you opened the door, leaving the pinball board behind you and entering into the tracks. You have seen up ahead down like a long dirt road in between some trees, right? The whole environment has sort of shifted as we've walked up this path that has been opened, and you can see a racetrack down there with like cars whipping around doing some like practice. I don't even know if we would call it practice races. They're just racing each other on this racetrack. You can see little patches of maybe oil slicks on certain corners or like obstacles they are avoiding. You see explosions and can kind of hear gunfire from coming down there. But before we got to really like get down there and into it, our vision has gone black, and some words in neon have sort of popped up that said choose your racer or something along those lines, and we're going to build our race car, and even before we do that, we have to do a pedal vision roll to actually get started. So
Pedals have a vision of what the best cars could be. What is the number one winning car? And we'll make her car look like that. Quick.
4 + 6. And what is my plus for vision? Check.
2, I think.
Check. Scroll.
Ooh.
That would be a 12.
12. I think on your visions, a 12 is a hold 1, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, is it cool? If it's cool, it's not 12. Is it cool or weird?
Oh, it is cool. It's cool for sure.
Oh, it's cool, then it's 10.
Okay. 10 plus, I believe, is hold 1, if I recall.
Let me hover.
Let me also hover. I will also hover. Visions. 10 plus, hold 1. That puts me at 2 now, I believe. And I am going to, I think, spend them now here at the start of the session. Eh. No, I've made them all off of something visual, and we're like a black space, so I can't like muddy black vision into something. I'm gonna hold on to that, and I can do it at a moment of transition. But we are here in this black space, and a podium rises out of the blackness in front of you guys with a little joystick on the top of it. And at the base of that podium is a small wrapped. I mean, it's a present. It's basically it's a present for sure. Medium sized box, gold wrapping paper and a red bow wrapped nicely on it. It's at the bottom of that podium, but there's a podium and a joystick, and you guys are just kind of standing in this black space.
Press 1, 2, and he doesn't even finish. He just walks right up to the joystick. D-ham straight up grips.
Grips, yeah. You click it once just to like feel out its movement, and the vision of a car kind of materializes in front of you. A long chassis low to the ground. It looks like it may be pretty bulky here, and it sits there for a second, and you click again, and that shifts vaguely into like a dune buggy size body, right? Where just it looks like you're starting to click through bodies. You click a third time, and a car appears, but then almost just glitches out. It like begins to glitch, and then it like spaces. Half of it jumps forward and half of it jumps back, and then it's like glitching into itself.
Okay.
And then an error message pops up, just the word bright red error.
Okay.
And you
I'm gonna make a roll here. I'm gonna use a things speak move, which is my savvy head move. So I'm gonna roll 2d6. That's gonna be 5, 6, 7 plus
Good use of
2
this.
is 9. Which I believe means I get to ask one. What's wrong with this, and how might I fix it? Because I want to have a good car.
You want to have a good car? Yeah, 100%, 100%.
If I get to pick good car, can I have good car? I want to fix.
Yeah, 100%. What's wrong with this is that it is trying to load information that is not set up for the player using it. It's just you don't have this in your save file. You haven't unlocked these cars yet. How would you use these cars? But you have unlocked
somebody
some
who
cars,
has a save file.
and you're like moving the joystick back and forth, just like, trying to figure out what's wrong with it, right? Trying to click to other cars, you get a couple errors, and then all of a sudden a car comes into vision that is not errored out. And it's a very familiar card to us. We have a rust, I imagine rust yellow and kind of stained, pretty large and bulky. Atop it, you see I guess a old tinny speaker, and on the side, plastered off, holding his guns and shooting them into the air, is Dickle the Pickle. And you're on the selection of the Dickle Mobile or the Dickle Truck.
Is that the only one? Like, if we keep clicking, is that the only one?
No, it isn't actually.
I mean, we should be thorough.
You're right. You're 100% right. Pedal comes up. It's like, let me try, and she clicks it over.
Pedal, I need you to grab this joystick. Pedal, I need you to grab this joystick.
The other.
All right. Goddamn.
The second
I don't
one
want to use that car.
The second one that comes up is a larger version of another car we are familiar with. It looks like a very big two-seater. You imagine you could fit more than two people in this car. It looks like the front half of a car, but quite a bit larger than we were used to before. And while it looks like it may be a little cramped, you also have the availability, just like the DDaD.
Do not press that one.
Don't do that one. That's my car.
I do not want to see your hands disconnected.
Oh, that would be a nightmare. Someone else tries to drive your car and it just takes them apart.
Are there any other ones?
No. Those are the two options that we have for our chassis to pick between, or our vehicles to pick between.
Unfortunately, press 1 for Dickle the Pickle.
both of which have stats that we can look over. I think Lawrence and I talked about his car's stats. I think, did we go through that, Lawrence?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
but it is not going to come up. I out of character moment.
I
Don't do it. We won't fit. It'll be so bad.
Yeah, the Dilgo.
Nothing's tied down in there.
Dilgo is a pretty large vehicle. You got speed +1 here, handling 0, armor 1 or 2 from the front because of the cage that you guys put on the cattle guard. And we have a massive of 3, which is slightly on the large side. A food truck sized food truck. There have been, well, no, I don't think there's been any modifications. It is the Dilgo in front of you.
And then can you tell us the stats of the other vehicle?
Of your vehicle?
The other option.
Yeah, that's the DCAB.
Oh, there's only the
first
2
option you
options? I thought there
described.
was a third one.
No,
Nope.
just those 2 options.
I already tried.
Yeah, Pedal came back and
Yep,
tried to find
I
through
understand.
too, but
I
unfortunately.
understand. We must select the Dickel-mobile. He's
Art
Dickel. He is
imitates life.
here.
There's a
Yeah,
little button there
alright.
on the podium too. It looks like to select.
I'm not jazzed about it either.
Can we go back to Ham's vehicle stats really quick?
I don't know if Hams are your stat. Do we put your stats here?
I have them in a DM, I think. I don't think I've implemented them.
Alas.
His size I think is 1. Massive 1. Let's find out. I do think they're in a DM. Okay, we've got Lawrence. Tasty. Nope, it's a text message.
Sure is. You know, text message is a DM.
It is. After all the talk about the game. Come on. We need to build your car. Massive 1, handling 2, armor 1.
That sounds right.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, massive 1, handling 2, armor 1. So yeah, it'll be a bit
Seats
cramped.
0.
It'll be a bit cramped. I would say the selection in front of you does look increased in size for sure. It's not like
it's
not
just
the
my
vehicle you
vehicle, but
left,
scaled up.
but scaled up for enough players to fit in.
I changed my mind. Press 2. Press 2. Press 2.
It's you and Pedal seemingly on the joystick.
Oh, no. I don't want that much power.
You let go?
Is Pedal also picking the
If
Dickel-mobile?
pedal lets go, I'm pressing 2 100%. A scaled up version of my car sounds hilarious.
Then, well, I don't want to go in there. Okay, then I hold on.
I'm standing next to you, not lunging, not going for the handle. I'm waiting patiently, but I am saying press 2, press 2, press 2.
I press 1.
2.
I press 1.
Aww.
Pedal switches it back to the Dilgo and slaps that button, and a green "You've selected the Dilgo" pops up, and then the image in front of you just sort of phases out, and the podium begins to sink into the ground, leaving behind this gold present with some red ribbon sort of wrapped around itself. It looks very nicely wrapped.
We should take that.
I
Is
think it's for you,
there a-
Pedal.
What is that roll that we made up? The what? Let's see.
Oh,
Examine closely.
Examine closely.
Yeah, I want to examine closely.
Roll plus sharp.
Yeah. When you spend an uninterrupted, closely examining an object or location, roll plus sharp.
Ooh, okay, that's a 7 plus 2, 9.
On a 7 to 9, choose one, and the GM will choose one. So you pick. You can either notice something hidden, you understand exactly what's here, or you complete the scan in a snap. Unfortunately, that is all we have for now.
Make sure you mark EXP for rolling sharp.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okie dokie. Sorry, I'm trying to find the question list. Damn it closely. Here we go. There's something hidden. You know exactly what's here. I understand exactly what's here.
Yeah.
What's in
Uh,
there?
I mean, you understand exactly what's here because there is a little, like, as you approach it to examine it, there is a little.
Oh wait. Sorry, wait. Oh, I chose the wrong thing. A 7 to 9, right? I got a 9, not a 10 plus.
Right. You pick one of those, and I'm gonna pick the other one.
Oh, I still get to pick.
Yeah.
Oh,
You pick
okay.
one
Sorry,
of them
I didn't
instead
interrupt.
of two of them.
Yeah. On a 10 you would pick 2, but on a
Oh, I'm understanding. Sorry, I didn't interrupt.
no, that's okay. There's like a little handwritten, like, like a to from note, that just says for pedal on it. It's a handwritten note. Yeah, for pedal, and there's like a little drawing, like a little hand, sketch of a flower, like a flower with some like 5 big petals on it.
Not really
I
sure
mean,
what that
I
tells
think
me.
the understand exactly what's here is that it is a present for you. And
I'm scared. Okay, fine.
yeah, I mean
I'm scared to open
that
it.
is what is exactly what's here.
All right, well then I guess I'm opening it. I suppose.
Inside there is a number of objects, on top of which sits a very hastily scrawled, very short note that just says
IKEA brand.
IKEA brand. No, it just hold on. It just says welcome back, comma, we missed you, and then there's a little heart after that. And underneath of that are rolls of bandages. There's a few Theodore has narco stabs in his, like, as a weapon that's like a paralyzer, but there's probably like a heal shot version of that, some like red liquid in a syringe. It's like a care package. It's like a care package to heal up some wounds and give you guys a couple bottles of water in there, right? Like a little break. And in total, there is enough in here for your team to heal up 8 hit points. So you guys can dole them out however you want. But there is enough gear in here to heal up 8 hit points for people. Because I know you guys got bashed around in the last session. Realized I think I almost killed all of you, maybe, except for Pedal.
I didn't really
And-
mark anything. Is that because I didn't take any harm or because I'm a bad player? I don't know.
I think it's possible you didn't take too much harm. I know that Spigot,
I am 2 away from death currently.
yeah, Spigot and D-Ham took some hits.
Oh yeah, because Dylan and I hit up high.
I do not value my life because I am not mortal. I have a backup file.
Yeah.
That feels like a cheat code.
Dill put pedal up high and then came back down and got hit by the ball a bit, but he's the T1000 of the group, so he's back at modestly bruised.
And I am at 2 harm right now.
Dill's at 2,
sounds
Spigot's at 2, and Lawrence, how many harm are you at? You said you're 2 away. Does that put you at 4?
I'm at 11 o'clock.
Ooh.
Damn.
Yeah, two ways. Yeah, 10 o'clock or so.
Yeah. Damn. Okay. Yeah. I mean, life is almost unsustainable. D-Ham is like breaking down in here.
Can we
Sparks and
stick a needle with red liquid into D-Ham? Is that
Well, one of the things that's also in the care package is like a drill and a bunch of bolts.
okay? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually what happens whenever I get hurt. My bolts pop out.
And this person knew that. Ooh.
I mean, that's how all robots work.
That's fair. So you
everyone who lives in this world knows that.
It's 3, 6, 9, 10. So you've taken 4 hits, Lawrence, or four harm total, or 5 harm
I
total?
have taken 5 hits total.
Okay. So you guys have 8. Mike has 2. Dill has 2. D-Ham
I have
has
0.
5.
So let's give the bolts.
Press 1 for me to be boltless. Press 2 to let me use the healing item that only I can use.
That's
Press
he,
fair.
3
like-
to get out of the car and walk.
At this point, about half
Is
the
he-
heal has been designated to specific robot.
Is he broken enough that he can't fix himself? Or...
I can fix myself.
All right, then.
I fix myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take 2 for now.
Okay. There are 6 more points.
6 total.
There's enough for everyone to get 2, which will fully heal everyone except D-Ham.
Is the
I would love to if they're available.
They are.
Did we just start chugging potions? We're like, oh fuck. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
I just stand there watching because you know.
All right, I will take 2, and that puts me back at no harm for the moment.
There's probably some like hydrogen peroxide you could chug in there if you want.
no? I'm not. Dill's not looking for
Like-
poison. Is the joystick still there? Is it just one joystick choice for the team, or is it individual joystick?
It was just one joystick choice. After the selection was made, the podium sunk into the ground.
Okay.
Are you going to take any heals? There's still now 4 available.
Is it poison?
Yeah, it can be a bottle of hydrogen peroxide. You can, instead of dabbing on your wounds, just drink.
Sure. Yeah. If there's poison, I'm gonna drink the poison in there. Yeah. Dill goes snuffling in there like some kind of basset hound. Stretches his nose all big
Lord.
and snorks his way through the pile of goodies, and comes up with a couple vials of mercury or something.
He breaks
know.
the thermometer,
Mm-hmm.
Down the
This
hatch.
slurps out the.
There was a thermometer
crunch.
to check your temperature, and he just snapped it and drank it. Sucked
Good
it out
thing
like
we're in
bone
the
marrow.
desert.
Yeah. Well, I guess you're
Well.
in something right now.
I
We're
never want to
somewhere.
see that again.
Yeah, and that'll give D-Ham 2 extra points, so you're only 2 injured now,
Though I fear I will.
or 1 injured now. Okay. That is the contents of this box. Save the note that you can't use to heal, but is a handwritten note towards Petal. Great to have you back. Welcome back. Something like that. Good to see you again.
We missed you.
We missed you. Heart. And the blackness around you starts to fade away. A roaring crowd seeps into the silence around you, and in the blink of an eye, the 1, 2, 3, 4 of you, the 4 of you, find yourselves standing on a dirt racetrack. On either side of you, there are 2, crowds of folks, like 8 tiers high in these stadium style seating, and they are just uproarious, cheering and hooping and hollering. It reminds you guys of the crowd in the around the pinball game. Literally, you might be able to spot some similar faces up there. Just people hooping and hollering and enjoying here the show as racers pull up one by one and like get out and start like waving at the crowd. We hear, I think, a voice cut over. I think that there is like it's like an automated almost voice that's coming on as the drivers pull up, and it's like burned rubber, and the crowd goes wild, and then another one comes up, and it says I don't know, needles on wheels, and this whole big spiky car rolls up, and a lady steps out, and she's waving to the crowd, and everyone's going crazy. But that's just like this automated, narrator announcing the racers as they pull up.
Wait, we're not Meals on Wheels?
That was That was maybe I call them needles on wheels.
Oh, okay.
Spiky car. You might be Meals on Wheels. We can even cut back for a brief moment. What you guys before that the joystick went down, you got to name your racer. Do we name it the Dilgo?
It's got to be the Dilgo.
The very cool best car.
The very cool best car. Oh, that's really funny actually.
The winner.
He takes out he
Very
like
best,
deletes
very
out
good
Dilgo. The winner best very good car. You get to the end and you can only put the winner best very good. You have to delete it all. Like, take out the right letters. I think you're probably announced by the announcer as you come out of the blackness. The Dilgo, the very good best race car on the track. The crowd kind of jeers at that, I imagine, because that's a wild shot call. I think as the crowd is jeering and cheering at you guys over the very good best car on the track, the very best car, I think that now is a great time for a voice to come over and welcome our racers into the track. You guys are distracted by all this happening around you, and then your attention is drawn upwards to a large tower that seems to be overlooking this racetrack behind one of the risers of audience jeering and cheering.
Is that me? Are you
That is
saying
you.
me?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't lead it up perfectly, but
no. Do I have a commentator with me? Is that or the announcer?
do you want like a side announcer with you? The announcer, you're welcome to announce cars. I didn't want to. I realized that I also didn't make up a list of names of these cars, and so to be like announce now 6-7 racers, that would be wild when you have no info. So I wanted to make that narrated, but you can also announce a few cars if you want. You're like, crowd's favorites or whatever. I like it all. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay. So you announce people and the crew and everything.
Yeah. We'll say
Okay.
that's just happening kind of automatedly.
And then and now we have all the players' character names too, obviously now.
Yeah,
Like we know.
Dill.
Okay.
That's great. That's great. As the thing comes out, the automated announcer says the very best car on the track or whatever. Man, that's gonna change every time. And yeah, I think for the most cars, there's one racer, but you guys have a team of 4, and so they do announce. I think they announce. I like our order because that lines everything up wonderfully. They say Dill as he. Do you guys step out of the car as you guys are announced? Or no, you're spawned. You kind of spawned next to the car, so they say it's Dill, DeLuca's Chop House answering machine. The crowd is going wild.
Throw a knife into the air.
And then it hits the ground. And Spigot. And
Spigot will wave to the crowd.
And then they announce Petal's name, and the crowd, there's a wild hush, actually, that kind of falls over the crowd, and there seems to be murmurs amongst them as Petal's name is announced.
I don't say anything. I just look around like, I mean, because I don't know what's going on either.
Mm-hmm.
Well, well, well. Welcome to today's race, everybody. Looks like we have a special guest. Been a while since we've seen you here, Petal. Who are these new? Looks like you have a new crew. All these weird tall people.
The crowd
Don't-
is jeering and cheering at the tall people around you.
As usual, folks, we will have a great race today. Plenty of entertainment. And who wants to see Petal crash?
The crowd goes absolutely ape shit over that. They all want to see Petal crash, apparently.
Is
Yes.
this is this
Well,
person
damn.
important? Is this an important person?
This is a person that you guys can't see. This is an announcement sort of coming from, there's like a loudspeaker on top of a glassed tower. You
Back to
could-
nothing. Dill sits in the back.
Dill looks around angrily, squints his eyes, and sits down. I'll find
We'll be
you.
putting our newcomers to the test, and as always, I'll be here, Racer the Kid, to commentate on today's races. And with today's special guests arriving, we might even get a little sneak peek of a little racetrack in the sky later on.
Ooh, and the crowd is
everyone's
lots of
ready to-
oohs and ahs.
If racers will get ready, pull up, we're getting ready to start, and
All
the
the-
countdown will begin soon.
All the cars
Right.
start, all the drivers start getting back into their car, and you hear the clicks and clacks of their engines starting up, the revving of engines, the hammering of the pistons, and I heard it was called a two-step engine fire, and I had to re-listen to the video. They're in like sports cars, and it's that sound, you know, when like you can hear the engine slap, and then there's a discharge, and it's just smooth. That's like a two-step engine. You're going from this like power horse into, I don't know enough about it, but it like the sound is fucking intense. Just like this pop before it's smooth engine running is apparently good for it. I don't know, for the engine revving. And you guys hear a lot of those like engine, you know, flares and pops as you're climbing into the Dilgo.
I want to say for a fact that the Dilgo does not have one of these engines.
No, it does not. It stutters and pops in a different way when turned on.
DHam turns to Spigot and he says, "Do you think the racetrack in the sky is heaven?"
I also had that thought.
No, I'm
Do you
afraid,
think-
Spigot.
Are we all
It's
gonna
not.
die?
Do you
Yeah,
think
I'm
I
sorry.
will go to heaven?
I think we'll be lucky to survive. Is what's going to happen.
The cars around you guys seem outfitted for battle on the road. I only describe Needles on Wheels because after I said that, I had to say why the fuck she would be called that, and that is all the spikes on her car, spikes armor. There's cars with like mounted machine guns on them, battering rams, and tanks of something hanging off the back. Like all these seem outfitted in different ways to like really battle on the road.
Now,
DHam
go ahead, DM.
DHam looks underneath the cabinets underneath in the kitchen section of the Dilgo, and I'm gonna look for some bottles of oil. And I'm gonna rev up those fryers.
Yep. Yeah, you start.
Oh
You
my
guys hear
God.
glug 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 from the back as the fryers are being filled up and
Did
turned
Dill
on.
climb into the driver's seat, or is he just in the back expecting someone else to drive?
Oh. Yeah, the other thought that I had was that Dill was when we were ported in, because like I don't think we ever got like a reveal on the Dilgo. We just like appeared on this racetrack.
Yeah.
When we were ported in, Dill was just like in the driver's seat. And it's just like, oh,
Buckled
all
in.
right.
Problematic because he can't drive.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I might interject that perhaps in the same way that that Ham's car was sized up so other people might be able to drive it. The Dilgo might have been changed so that someone else could drive it.
Yeah.
Are you able to? You can make your body bigger, but can you make your body smaller?
The problem is,
He can.
well, that was actually the other thought, was that if we were going to pick individual cars, I do actually think that I could break myself in such a way that I could fit into and drive.
Gross.
That is
The decap.
macabre.
Yeah, it's horrible, but it would be wall to wall blob inside.
The
It would just be
decap
like
opens
I'd
up
be like
and
a-
just slushes
I'd
out.
be like a car's car.
Oh my gosh.
Just a pair of eyeballs up on the windshield because you can't see the rest of me driving the car back under there. But that's not what we're doing.
One moment, I need to delete that.
Yeah. I will say in here we still have the 3 buttons. One of which turns off the music. One of which.
All I want is that it required an intelligence check for me to try and drive this car before, and it required an intelligence check for anyone to drive this car before.
The pedals are still in the same place. So if you, like, Spigot has driven it, he at least understands the mechanics of driving the car. The car, though, still hasn't been driven as hard as it can because we haven't broken down these
The only
pedals
one who
yet.
can drive it is not allowed inside of the tent. I mean, if an intelligence check is what it takes, I've got dice. I'll roll an intelligence check, and if I fail, Dill is gonna bail out of this front seat lickety split.
Yeah. I like an intelligence. What is that? That's sharp.
Yeah. Dice. Dice. 2 of them suckers.
My other one. Why do I only have 1? Well, there's 1. What the fuck?
Just double it.
Yeah, but there's always 2.
It's okay. I rolled the same number twice, and that number was 3. So that is a cumulative 5. Dill vacates the seat, takes an experience, and levels up. Sitting in the back seat.
Oh my gosh.
He gains some knowledge, but he's gonna have to parse that real quick. Yeah. Pedal, this racetrack is feeling very familiar to you. This is feeling like a world you have been in. Something is like you have been in this environment before. The cheering crowd, the roar of the engines, it is like it feels familiar. But Dill has stepped out of the driver's seat. Who is going to step into the driver's seat?
I'm guessing Spigot has driven the Dilgo before, so he would jump into the driver's seat.
Chef, I am busy on fries. I need you to drive.
You look back and D-Ham has like his little chef's like paper hat on.
It's bolted to my forehead.
With one of those bolts, yeah. You use the last bolt to bolt it on. Chef D-Ham. Okay, Pedal, do you jump in the front seat with Spigot, or do you jump in the back with the fryer and Dill?
Several gallons of hot oil.
I think if
I mean,
weirdly
when
enough,
you spin it like that.
weirdly enough, I think if the passenger seat is empty, I'm going to hop on and be a passenger princess.
The 2 semi-immortal characters in the back with the hot oil makes sense.
Yeah.
And Spigot gets in and turns on the engine. I'm Dickel, and I'm here, blasting above some of the roaring engines. Quickly button pressed to I'm Dickel, and I'm here. Fade out. And a lot of all the drivers seem to be in place and ready to go.
Hey, Spigot, real quick. You've got the highest history with me. Should I try and shore up a weakness or maximize a strength?
Ooh. I man. I would say maximize a strength, maybe?
Yeah, you don't really have a lot of weaknesses.
I mean, my intelligence does seem to be a fairly
Oh, as a stat. Okay,
consistent,
as a stat, yeah.
consistent
Oh,
weakness,
well,
but
that is true.
I
But does it would Dill think to get smarter? Or would Dill think I could be stronger?
mm,
He would take a look in the mirror,
Dill is gonna do neither
Horrifying
of those
mirror.
self-reflect.
Neither of those.
Dill's gonna do neither of those things, but he is gonna maximize his strength. Dill has one other strength that isn't his hard stat, and I think that's what we're gonna wind up doing next time it comes back to Dill's chunk of the action. Anywho.
Nice.
Okay, okay. The drivers in their vehicles, engines revving, I'm Dickel and I'm here, stopped. The crowd on the edge of their seats, ready for this race to begin.
Since it's like the start of our cool racetrack arc, can like one person in the crowd also start chanting "I'm Dickel and I'm here"?
I absolutely. I'm Dickel and I'm here. It actually goes 3 times, and by the 3rd time, one person's like, I'm Dickel and I'm
Yeah, no,
here.
the fourth
Looks
time
around.
one person gets abandoned.
But there is one person who is like really into, I guess, your pinball play, who's here for a follow-up. They're following you.
No one notices, but the camera notices.
Mhm.
All of you listening, you noticed. You saw that.
Uh,
Remember it.
Okay, why don't you lead us into this race here, announcer?
You get there's like you start hearing like a dinging come down on the tower. There's everyone can see some lights. Starts counting down, and racers will be off in 3, 2, and as it gets down to 1, you see like a little like cannon spout come out of the tower, and all of a sudden you could see it briefly as it flies through the air, but it looks like a pinball almost. But the flies out of the cannon. It's gonna land right in front of the starting line on the dirt road, particularly right in front of where the Dilgo is about to kick off, like kind of like in line. And also just kicks up a bunch of dust immediately for the start of the race. So that's kind of your go in the shotgun, is the kid shooting directly at the track to create a big dust cloud to start off the race.
Yeah, the engines kick into life. The Dilgo having an obstacle thrust in front of it from the gate as the cars start to rip off. The first thing right in your way as it is colliding with the track and creating this giant cloud of dust to whip through is a big pinball, which I don't think is going to take a roll to pull you guys out of because we haven't started yet. But what it will do in order to like course correct to move around it, you can't just like crash that gas pedal right away. You got to like turn off and away from the pinball, effectively putting yourselves near the back of the pack. There are a couple cars that were started behind you in the lineup. You guys are, we can put it in like 10th place of 12 as these last
Literally
2 cars are
every
like riding
Mario Kart time. That's me. Every time I play Mario Kart. I just
It's the spin
I
out,
try.
yeah.
I'm like, I can totally do the cheat thing this time. I can time it. I've been playing this game since I was 11, and then every single time, no, I can't. I can't time it, and I spin out. It's embarrassing.
And this time it has happened the same. But we've ripped off way ahead of you. You can see some racers in like 1st or 2nd ripping off down the track about, I'm so bad at distance, so when I say about half a mile in front of you, it's going to make this track massive, maybe, or small. See, I don't know. They're ahead of you, about half of the length of this straightaway, we'll say. You've got 2 vehicles flanking up on either side of you. One, we'll say to the back right, is a chonker of a vehicle. Big, imagine like a bank truck, you know? They're like, you can tell that's a secured, armored vehicle. Big and chunky. The other, oh boy. What is the other? The other is one of those single-wheeled, like, the wheel goes around the pod that the driver is in, trying to drive it, right? I never imagined that those are the most conducive for racing, so that's why I've put them way back here. These two are gaining on you, and we'll say the place in front of you is quite a bit away. What is our first action that we're gonna to take in this race? From either drivers or folks in the car.
Not to, get too crazy too quick. I think DHam is gonna crack the back door of the Dilgo. What are we looking at directly behind us? The vehicle that's the closest behind us here.
Sure, there's a button that just
Windshield, question
drains
mark?
the oil.
One of those buttons just drains. That's why he was filling up all the oil.
Well, it looks.
Um,
It seems like he's open. Are you gonna dump the oil out the back door of the Dilgo? Is that the
No, I'm
play?
not gonna dump the oil yet. Come on.
But out the back of the Dilgo, is that the play?
I mean, maybe.
Okay.
I don't think the time has come for the oil yet.
You crack the door to check. These two cars are like swerving in and out behind you. They bump each other. They push each other to the side. They are keeping pace, and they are just right behind you, lightly closing in. I think that Spigot, I'd like you to give
Question mark?
me just what is it? Almost all these drive checks, Gabe pointed out, are based on cool. So why don't you
Okay.
give me just a
Maneuvers are speed based too, right? Or just, it's cool plus your speed.
some of
vehicle
them will
speed.
engage with like our stats in that way as well. I was reading through and there's some of them where, let's see, these are all plus cool. Why do we have vehicle stats at all?
Because sometimes it's cool plus a vehicle stat.
Plus your
Yeah, if you
vehicle's
use-
handling, modified the vehicle's relative speed. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it is always roll plus cool and then modified by an additional vehicle stat.
Okay, so that roll is an 8 plus 2 for cool is a 10.
Okay. And what is your initial goal out of the gate? Is it to pick up ground? Is it to get these two people out from behind you, like further away from you? Is it to what's your main drive off the cuff?
Well, because I don't know that I can see them behind me. I know that DM can see them.
I imagine you have
unless
some rear
somebody-
view mirrors.
Side
Yeah,
view mirrors.
okay. Then my goal would be to keep the Dilgo in front of them so that we can maneuver and make sure that they have to kind of follow our lead. So I want to contain them behind us as we're moving down the track. So that's first play, is to be that annoying driver that won't quite get out of the way.
The annoying
Oh.
10th place.
I think I'm
driver.
going to add your
That's
massive
right.
to this, actually. Because this feels like you're trying to keep them behind you. The speed,
Yeah.
like, you're already keeping speed with them. On our massive stat is 3. I think massive might just be for help here. But you already got a 10 anyway. We're good. And you guys have no negatives, so you're gonna be able to keep that pace easily. As they swerve and bump each other, they start to like gain pace, but you're keeping them in your rear view mirrors and just keeping them right behind you. You can hear that door open up in the back of the van, and you like look back in that, your main rear view mirror in the car, and you can see back to see DHam like open it up and scoping out behind him. But yeah, DHam, you see those two cars like kind of bumping each other, ramming each other.
Looks like Petal found a competent driver for her team finally. As our
Savage.
races are leading to speeding ahead, we have a fun little fight in the back end here, but it looks like our racers are in first place are starting to come up to our first obstacle. You see, and you'll see some of the racers start to kind of like go around either way, kind of avoiding a center. And as you come up, you see a little divot, just like a standard, like looks like a quicksand little trap thing there. So you're still in the desert area. All the drivers are kind of taking it around, like those desert plains, Mario Kart tracks.
Yeah. We'll say that even the two cars in front of you, like up a little bit, you're gonna have to pull up some pace to catch up, but they are combating one another and trying to shove each other off the road, and they're like fighting for one of these little lanes of safety in between this quicksand trap and the edge, and one is able to shove the other in, and they are wicked slowed down as they're trying to just pull up and out of this quicksand onto either side, but their handling is being fucked with in the sand. They're losing speed. They're just trying to get out of it, and then that person is just wicked out, paced by the person who shoved him in. Let's see. You're right as you guys approach this quicksand trap to like begin pulling off to one side or another as you're looping up through this first moment. You see all of this line of, I don't know why I'm being fancy about it. You see a line of like prismatic glowing boxes kind of spinning slowly in place above the road. Those two cars fighting as they pass through. One shatters it, and it just kind of like shatters and dissipates upward. Nothing else really occurs after that moment, but you guys pass through, and let's see. Spigot, would you attempt to avoid or hit one?
I'm more concerned about missing the quicksand. I think the Dilgo, we could afford to hit one.
Hit one of the boxes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you give me another cool roll, but let's add handling to this one.
Okay.
Handling is 0.
Handling is 0. Oh, well then, yeah. Cool rolled. Like dealing with bad terrain, I guess.
That's 5 plus 2 for a grand total of 7.
For a grand total of 7. Okay, I think the choice here is with the angle you're trying to avoid and like get into a lane, and then these boxes, like as they spin, they're kind of hard to see at certain angles. They're much easier, and maybe you just didn't notice them until you were like right up on them. You can swerve the Dilgo to hit one, but it's gonna be lining you up with that sand trap, and you'll have to be dealing with the sand trap if you smash a box on the way through.
Yep. I'm not that giddy to hit a box. I would rather stay out of the sand.
Yeah, and you swerve to the side as that single-wheeled vehicle rolls up behind and smashes the box, hitting the edge of the sand trap and losing a bit of speed, but pulling off like we'll say that you guys are on the left lane and they've pulled off into the right lane on the right side of the pit trap. The bank truck, though, right hard on your tail. Spigot's keeping pace. What does our team do about this bank truck in closing?
They got a windshield on that thing?
Yeah, they do. Big blacked out windshield.
Do I have anything heavy back here that I could throw out the back of the... Not oil, not a bunch of oil.
If I recall, we said that this thing was heavily stocked with canned goods. So
perfect.
You have hard cans filled with probably beans and shit to like just toss. And I think that's pretty bad on a course.
I'm going to start throwing cans out the back, aiming at the windshield specifically.
That's incredible. Give me the same roll you do for your knives, I think. Is that roll plus sharp?
14.
Oh, Jesus. D-Ham rushes back in, the door swinging open. He grabs an armful of cans, stuffing them into his cabinet for ammunition, and then comes back and starts just hucking them out the back at the car. They're swerving in and out, trying to avoid, but with this lane being what it is, kind of tight, they're unable to properly avoid that. Several of the cans hit the windshield. You get shatters and smashes all over. You crack it and spiderweb it. It doesn't shatter through. It seems pretty reinforced, but you have like spiderweb. You can see like 3 giant crash marks from these cans that have cracked, which arguably is worse than a missing windshield. I think is when it's like fully spiderweb cracked over.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
know,
you can't see
it,
anything.
the approach ends up the same. Either way, they're more disabled than they were before. I can't throw a knife at them, but
Well, you can. Hold on. You can always throw a knife at them.
Bludgeoning
through
versus
through a
piercing
windshield,
damage
I don't think
is more
so.
effective against a car.
Bludgeoning damage is definitely more effective, I would agree. That car, I think with that they have lost some speed. They lose some speed. They're swerving a little bit to the left and the right, trying to find the proper like straight course where they can see through the windshield and like still move at a good angle. I think you can see a little shadow moving around trying to find the way through the cracks in their windshield to see, but they've lost a lot of speed. And you are a few car lengths ahead of them as this uniwheel behind you on the right in the right lane. You all of a sudden see from your rear view mirror or looking out the back of the vehicle get a kick of speed. A blast of fire comes out of the back of their vehicle, and they hit a little raised portion of the road and are able to ramp up and over the quicksand patch, landing right next to the bank truck. But their speed and the lack of handling on the bank truck equates in them slamming the bank truck and the bank truck completely losing control and like swerving, smashing into the wall, and then going into like a flipped roll before smoking. And it's behind in the dust now. Gone behind in the dust. You guys, in fact, even hear like a large siren blast from that tower that is just ever present in the center of the course as you cut through and out of the quicksand trap.
Do we get any assist points for that, or?
Okay, so Petal is gonna roll down.
You get a couple 100 points each. A couple billion, I meant. Sorry, a couple billion points each. Yeah.
Petal's gonna roll down her window and have her arm hooked through like the seat belt, but it's like buckled, so it's, you know how it unlocks, and it's so fucking annoying when that happens, and it instantly like sets my rage to like internally to
You have
like
to take
boiling
off the
levels.
seatbelt to fix it, and then when you do it
Oh.
again, you're so mad that you overdo it a second time,
Yep.
and then you're like
Yep,
extra.
yep,
I
yep.
do it every fucking
But this
time.
this time, Mrs. Strategic, because I am doing it so I feel more secure to lean out the window because I'm reading a situation, and I rolled a 10. Well, like my plus with my pluses, I have a 10.
Mm-hmm.
And so my first question I'm going to ask is, what should I be on the lookout for? So I'm like looking up ahead, not behind me where the bank car is, but up ahead where the other vehicles are, to see if maybe with my really good prosthetic, I can like look through the grit and the sand or whatever and see what's up ahead to warn Spigot about the road.
Mm-hmm.
That's my first cue.
Mm-hmm.
What do I see?
Let's do this. I think in the form of an announcement about our racer that's just lost and the upcoming, like the challenge that the racers are finding themselves coming up to, because that'll you'll know exactly what it is when you see it, and when we're
Up ahead, you again is it like a straight through track? Like, are we going to a point, or is it going into circles?
we can say that they're passing that first straightaway and they're approaching it into the first curve.
Okay.
I imagine like a
as-
figure 8,
Yeah. As you're coming around the curve, you see kind of like structures kind of around the track. It looks like similar to trees or kind of like dead forests that you may have seen while traveling through the apocalypse world. And I guess from even though it's around the curve, you can see the racers starting to like avoid like making weird movements on the track. It looks like some of the trees and logs might be falling onto the track sporadically that the
Mm.
racers are now starting to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
They do start kind of rolling off and like off of the track, but it looks like they're almost trying like the trees are trying to hit the cars before they
Oh, they're like
kind of
actively falling as they pass.
little
Yeah.
Mario Kart
Yeah,
traps.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, up ahead you can see all these like dead wood that is set up in like a fake dead forest, right? That you knew you would be driving through, but you can see and hear the cracks of timber, loud snapping cracks as these trees break and begin to fall onto the path in front of the racers. Yeah, I think you can also with that see that coming up before you hit this next like the deadfalls we'll call that section. You can see more of those glowing boxes that you could point Spigot to give him.
Are those boxes what I think they are?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't see the what's it called again? Wait, what's the name of your car?
The Dilgo.
The Dilgo.
A very good car. I
The
thought
very
it was
good
the
car
very
that's
good.
gonna
Dil-
win.
Oh
very
no,
car that
very
wins.
good car, Dilgo.
the
Didn't
very
see it
good
hit-
best car on the track, right?
A very good car. That's the best.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like the our favorite our Dilgo. I can't even remember the name. It starts messing me up. The very good car, very best car. Didn't see it hit
Really
pick up
very
any
good
race
car.
items. But looks like they brought some items of their own to mess with some of their fellow racers on the track here. As they're coming around to Dead Falls, let's hope they have something to help them avoid these falling trees.
And
Yeah, I mean, we can make other NPCs crash into this stuff in the
yeah,
front too.
100%. Yeah. I can like with that deadfall. There's probably like a loud explosion. You can see some smoke raising up from that area too. That's already been capturing some of the racers in front of you. This Uniwheel behind you, it has caught up. They are like right on your tail and still putting some speed on. These flames beginning to sputter. You can hear them crack and like fire a few times before the flame cuts out, and they are basically, I'm gonna put them like right next to you guys as you come out of this quicksand bit. Your driving has been on par so far. These and this person is just speeding up, so I think that you guys are also approaching. I said one of these other two cars. We'll put it at the needle on wheels. This big spiked, all spikes sedan in front of you, and the Uniwheel that is on your side trying to create distance or make it.
Pedal, you got 2 more questions.
Oh yeah, Pedal, you do have 2 more questions.
I do. Yes.
I won't answer as much for the next 2.
Yeah, don't progress the scene with the next.
Fully progress the scene,
Yeah.
with every question. I love it.
Can't
Okay.
let that happen.
Like 2 laps in before her questions are all answered.
So can I ask another one
Yes,
right away,
please.
or do I have
Yep.
to wait?
No.
Oh, okay,
Have
okay.
2 more.
Don't let him progress the scene.
Don't let me do what I did just now.
Got it. Sorry. My next question is, what should I be on the lookout for? Like, is there anything like hidden that might be?
Didn't you just ask?
That
Like,
was the
like-
only
like-
one question you asked.
That was your first question.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Of the 6, you've only asked 1. You can't ask it 3
Okay,
times,
all right,
Pedal.
We're you know what? We're good. We're good. You guys both goofed this now.
All right, that's 2 questions. What's the third? No, I'm just kidding.
You stop that.
Genie rules.
Yeah.
Genie rules. I shake a fist at the sky. No. My next question is, what's my enemy's true position? Like not like the cars, because I feel like that's
Mhm.
obvious. Because I
Mhm.
can look
Your-
through the windshield and see the cars.
Your
Well,
Pedal's enemy's true position.
yeah. But also,
Yeah.
you can't tell me that I can't tell you an answer because it's obvious. So
That's
I'm
true.
just
No,
saying.
that's
I
true.
love it.
That's
No.
true.
We
Uh,
can call it a cop out.
Oh no, I love it. I'm just kidding. I do love this question though, because you're on this racetrack, but the racers are just doing what you're doing, right? Like you guys are all in this situation seemingly together, right? They're just loving it. They love this situation. You guys are fighting for your lives. I would probably say your enemy's true position is in that tower. The announcer, they shot a gun at you with no. They seem to be in the most control of this space.
That's true. They did shoot a Kanan.
A Kanan. Canonically, they
canon.
got you.
Okay, and I have my next question ready.
Yes.
What's my best way past? What's the best way? I don't know. That's the question.
No, sure.
Did you ever learn the snaking technique in Mario Kart?
Is it the back
The
end where
what?
we just
No.
you just power glide the whole time,
Mhm.
in and out,
You are
weave in and out of
blowing
your
my
objects.
mind. I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, if you,
I do know that we should be hitting the boxes, like the question mark boxes.
Yeah.
No, when you're playing Mario Kart, you can press the R button and you'll hop and do a little slide.
No.
I
If
bet
you
she
do the
doesn't
slide
know
around
that.
a corner
Wait,
long
Grace.
enough,
wait,
you can give yourself a
wait,
speed
wait.
boost.
Grace.
I've only ever played on the Wii, so there's no.
Yeah,
You
R-
can
I-
still do
Yeah,
it on the Wii. You
Yeah.
just have
Yeah.
to
What
press the
button is
button.
it?
R.
It's R or
What
L.
R or L when you go to turn.
Yeah.
You press
Like
the one you're
What
turning, I
button is
think.
R on the Wii?
Just
It's
keep
like a
pressing
Z.
buttons. You'll find it.
Yeah, ZR and ZL.
Yeah. I mean,
On the
I
Wii.
remember doing it on the DS Mario Kart.
It's always your whatever
Okay.
your back fingers are on.
Your
triggers.
triggers.
Those are they're
Okay.
called, what is that? Drifting. That's how you drift in Mario Kart. You
Yeah.
pop into
Wow,
the
this is
slide.
crazy.
You're gonna have so
This
many new
is
things to
truck
try out in
nuts,
Mario
but more
Kart.
wholesome.
Huh? This
If
is
you-
just truck nuts all over again.
Remember in Tokyo Drift where the car just sideways up the whole parking ramp
I've never
thing?
seen Tokyo Drift.
That's what you can do in Mario Kart.
I don't know what that means.
Grace is gonna come back next week and be like, I have been playing Mario Kart for a week straight. You can
So
drift?
So first I watched Tokyo Drift.
Yeah,
and then-
right. I've seen every Fast and the Furious movie and I beat Mario Kart. Let's play. Oh, we're done with Mario Kart. Fuck.
Okay.
What's your way past is to, we have been driving the Dilgo straight. It is a big car, but the way to make distance is to drive like a racer, right? You got all this space coming up. If there's any way we can do little ramps to get past ways we might have to turn around, right? Like drifting, if we can do what do they call it when you're drafting on someone, where you're like
Yeah.
driving right behind them to hold their wind resistance,
Get your slipstream.
yeah,
speed boost.
yeah. Also something in Mario Kart,
sure,
Grace, by the
yeah.
way.
No. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always at a disadvantage at whatever we're.
Grace is like, Mario Kart is the hardest game I've ever played. I've literally only got first a couple times. I don't get how when I do.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know about that one.
Yeah,
I was when I was in middle school, I was top 10 on the North America server of Mario Kart DS because I had
What?
nothing else to do.
What?
hmm
Casual
That's
lore.
the free
So
trial.
when you asked me to play these characters, I was like, yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Oh, I didn't know. We have such a guest on. Oh my god. A literal professional in the field, guys. Oh my
13-year-old with no life. To be
God.
fair, not a lot of people were playing Mario Kart DS online, but
More than 10.
yeah.
And I beat all of them except for the other 8 below me. Yeah, so to drive, to race, that's the best way past. These guys are pulling maneuvers, and that's how they seem to be able to catch up. That guy had a little flame boost and caught up. We need to utilize the track and the things in front of us. Rather than trying to run away, we need to drive in,
I gesture ahead to the little boxes that we can see through the windshield, And it's like, and I tell Spigot, try to aim for those. Those have power ups or other things that'll help us get us through this course. And you see what the others are doing? Can you do that? Can you drive like that?
Can you
make
do
the-
that?
Yuki.
Can this accordion, looking pedal thing? Can you make that happen?
And you guys feel a bump as the car is like bumping into you, beginning to try to run you off the road.
Oh, and we've got mass, so I would push back on the car bumping on us.
Inflict V harm.
Time to inflict
Can
some
I-
V harm. Yeah, what's up?
Are they parallel to us?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
are we windshield? Can I roll a window down and gesture for DM to hand me a can? And
Throw
I'm gonna
more
try
cans
throw
out.
One. I'm gonna try and just throw one directly, because that's the driver right there, right? I'm gonna
Yeah.
hurl it as hard as I can.
I
Press
love
1
it.
for 2 liters. Press 2 for 3 liters. Press 4 for, oh gosh, that's too many liters.
What is that? What do you roll for that?
You are gonna roll. I think you did roll plus sharp, right, Lawrence?
For
Throwing a can.
I do. I assume, is that act under pressure?
He,
I think so.
Act under pressure. Do something under fire is cool.
Which I
He-
can't use. I do it with weird.
oh yeah, but it would be cool. Yeah, do something under fire.
Normally it would be with cool.
Cool for
Dang, I have no
for
pluses.
pedal.
Okay.
V harm.
Just roll
all the way
it.
Uh-huh.
down.
5
Oh, well.
plus 4.
Which
9.
Honestly, we could probably
Okay.
move that section to the vehicle section.
I press 4 for whatever leader, the biggest option that DM said, and I chuck it as hard as I can.
You press 4
Aiming.
for, oh gosh, that's too much. That's too many liters.
I don't know which one. I don't know which one it was.
I hand you,
Like,
I hand you 4 pots full of boiling liquid,
oh gosh.
She hefts some out the
like
window.
one at a time, but it is 4 of them.
When vehicles clash with one another, they can inflict regular harm, but they can also inflict V harm. V harm, as established, is the attacking car's massive minus the defending car's handling. I like that. I'm gonna say though that they are the attacking car in this case because they started hitting up against you first.
Yeah, they started ramming us.
Yeah.
Well, that puts us at a significant disadvantage.
It
folks.
does, but this car, I'll say, is probably, I mean, so it is just established as the car's attack massive minus the defending car's handling.
wheel
Yeah,
car.
we
It's
are
Just
probably
roll
going
dice
to
probably
good,
like the
take
guys.
motorcycle.
damage here.
Yeah, like a
motorcycle
1.
vehicle.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just roll dice good.
When you suffer V harm, roll plus V harm. So, Mike, you're the driver, roll plus 1.
Minus V.
So just roll.
Roll plus V harm. Plus V dash harm.
That's 9 plus 1 is 10.
That's great.
On a 10, you
That's all
lose
have to do.
control and your attacker
Oh.
chooses 1.
Oh boy.
Never mind. I thought 10 would be good.
Or choose 2 from the list below. Right in the transmission. Ooh, that feels too early. You know, I'm gonna give you a spin out. You try to give it back, but that car is ready and waiting for this. They tapped you a few times, knowing they couldn't drive you off the road, and as you went to give it back, they did like a brake check and pull back to pull around to your left side, right? So you went to push right, and with no force there to stop you, you go into a little bit of a spin out. You spin a couple times and slam up against the wall and have to kick it back up from 0. Now in last place. It's easy with this speed to shatter into one of those boxes on your way by, directed by pedal. As you enter into the deadfalls, you have the needle on wheels and this unicar. Needle on wheels now having gained some speed thanks to that spin out pretty far up ahead, probably leaving the deadfalls or nearing it. This uni wheel just entering, and Spigot and pedal in the front of this car as you hit that box. A fourth red button appears, and above it, a little screen that's spinning and beginning to lock into place. And while I'm figuring out what gets locked on there, what were you about to say, Jonathan?
I was gonna say, you could see the needle car kind of like use one of the down logs now that it's like in the road, not moving. They kind of like take it as a little ramp as it's rounded out.
Yes. Random generator. Thank you. Do I just spin it? I do. That's cute. No fucking way. What a choice start. The little screen is like rotating through a number of selections, and it starts to slow, and it hits like a little digital green rocket, and it passes down into a digital red rocket, and then it slowly clicks, and it looks like it's not about to, and then it clicks into place down a big blue rocket with like a skull on it, right over this button, which is fucking ideal for you guys being in last place. The only time that I accept that can come up.
It's the blue shell.
It's literally, it said it was about to land on red shell, and I was like, ooh, fun game. And then it was like blue shell, and I said, fuck me. If it couldn't have been a better outcome. Yeah, it lands on, and it's this big digital blue rocket with a skull on it, sitting next to your 3 other buttons that we know what they do. Turn off your music, give you a handgun, or spill the oil.
Press 6 to give the blue shell a pot of boiling water.
I can't press 6, guys, or any buttons.
I'm gonna let Petal make that call because she's done this before.
Dham swings his hand up to the left like he's about to do the disco dance, and then he presses 6, and he hands the. Is it like floating nearby? Do we see it? Is it spinning around us, ready to be deployed?
Oh no, there's a little button right next to all our other buttons on the dash.
Okay, I press that button.
To pour a pot of water on the button?
Please don't do that.
I press the button, and then I look outside the window, holding the pot of boiling water expectantly.
Oh, yeah. You press that button, and you guys feel a mechanical, like, kerchunk on the top of your vehicle.
Kerchunk?
A kerchunk?
And Grace, or Petal, like, hanging out the window, looking back and up, still well tied in with the seatbelt hold. You can see that... Oh, man, how do I do this? I think that... because you can't see the top of the truck, but you can see rising out of the top of the truck, like there's a section in there that it was stored in all along, but there clearly isn't the room for it, is a giant pickle cannon that raises up, and then you hear a loud and you guys are kind of swerved off for a second. You still hold your control, and a massive blue rocket comes ripping out of that, and it shoots up forward, and it looks like it's about to go like at the car in front of you, the uniwheel, but it maintains its height and whips around the curve and off around the edge of the track. And as you guys enter into the deadfall, you hear a loud and you look over, and kind of in the distance around the next turn, you can see like a big blue mushroom cloud often pretty far ahead of you.
A loud mushroom cloud, kakunk, and somebody way off in the distance going, "Ah, dang it!
not again! Fucking blue shell!" And you guys enter into the deadfalls. The single-wheeled car seems to be they seem to be performing expertly here, able to mostly just bound up over anything that kind of falls in front of them, avoiding what things are falling around them as they do.
Did anything happen with my can that I threw at the...
Oh, you did throw a can. What'd you get with your can throw? I apologize.
I rolled a 9. Is 9 anything?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have plus cool. It's the bummer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then what I'll give you with the can, because I did totally forget about it, I'm going to take back that they're doing well here. You also cracked their windshield, so they're trying to, like, maneuver through here without... Like, they bump up against some things they shouldn't, so I think while they were able to create that pace with the brake check and spin around, you guys are catching up to them. They haven't outpaced you all so much because they are contending with also a cracked windshield. Going to be our biggest handicap in this race. In the deadfalls, let's zip through this. We have our driver. Mike, why don't you give me... I'm seeing if I want to do... Yeah. Give me another roll here to catch what's vehicle moves. It will be overtake another vehicle, I think, here. So roll plus cool plus speed.
That is an 11 plus whatever our speed is.
An 11 plus speed, more than good enough. A few of the deadfalls, I think you're able to take over with like a little bit of a setup natural ramp. A few of them you just break right through because we actually have that cattle guard on the front for ramming. You're able to shatter through some of the smaller ones and really overtake this vehicle. I think with a 12 and their cracked windshield already, with the method of just like ramming straight through these situations, in your overtaking them, like as you come up alongside and break through the final piece of deadfall, it shifts it out of the way, and I think that they're gonna lose some of their control and roll off. You've outpaced them. They are lightly behind you, and we're recatching up on Needle as we enter into the next third leg of our race.
Third leg.
Yeah. What is present at the third leg of our race?
This leg of the race is full of kittens and hugs, and also we're in first place.
This one's sponsored by Purina. With kittens and hugs.
Close, yeah. The amazing blue rocket straight out of last place. Pedal. You'll see our front side races are coming into the most slippery part of our track here. Looks like our snowmen are starting to pop up and stuff. Goons, we got it. Some of the racers. You'll see it looks like the cars up ahead are starting to slow down. You notice that the road will start changing a little, as it looks a little bit like there might be some ice patches going around. And as the racers hit this patch, little men or little like snow. Like I don't know if anyone's ever seen snow, but it exists here on this track, this weird track.
That's a great point. Probably
that?
not.
What is that?
Yeah.
What is that?
So you see all the other racers kind of slow down as there's this white powder on the road, and then little shapes kind of start popping up, and then little white balls start getting thrown around. One of the cars actually gets hit by one, and you could see, I guess, pedal with your eye, just kind of how it bogs up the engine. It's kind of the car kind of slips out. All the cars are starting to slow down in this part of the race until they can kind of get a better gauge of the track.
Yeah, the front party of cars has become less distance amongst one another. Like the top six are all now butting up against one another, trying to slowly slick and slide their way through. And as you following up, still at the... Well, I guess we're not at the end anymore. You got Uniwheel behind you, who's trying to gain their pace after the deadfalls. And ahead of you, the Needle car, Needle on wheels, that you're gaining pace on, because she's starting to slow, reaching the edge of that, having smashed through a box. And I think since you're not fighting, it's relatively easy for you to gear the car into another box, hoping for another nice giant blue rocket to help with this fight.
We should speed up recklessly. Press 4 to speed up recklessly. Press 2
I think it was sort of thinking ramming speed would be most entertaining here.
While Dham is pressing 4, Dill has sort of situated himself right at the back by the door of the Dilgo. And he leveled up due to his last failure, and
Oh.
so he put his extra new stat point into weird.
Gonna get even weirder.
He sure is gonna get even weirder. So what Dill's gonna do, is he has sort of rooted his hands and fingers into the back of the Dilgo, and he is stretched up to his full height out the back door, his head and maybe shoulders out of the back of the Dilgo into the open race. All of his skin is sort of pulling away, so he looks like a big tall skeleton just stuck in the corner of this food truck, and all the skin has come up to his head to form kind of like a radar dish, but it sort of looks more like a weird cauliflower that's unfurling on the top of his head. And he's gonna the only move I've got for weird is open your brain. But he's trying to reestablish contact with the other one here with his extra weird, to maybe try and drive the car real good.
Let's see, roll plus weird.
It's not a good first number.
Hey.
Okay. That is a 9 plus 3, 12.
Yeah, in this new space, things have been moving quick since we entered into the black space. But you do feel that connection with the other one. You feel it. I think now that you've tried to look for it, it kind of feels like it comes rushing back. Like,
Yeah, this is the first time that Jill has actually
Yeah.
actively like gone and searched for it in such a way.
you no longer feel alone like you did when we entered into this dome the first time.
Well, oh yeah, I've got like 3 sessions worth of built up other one that I've got to roll right into. So we're immediately switching over, and so like if anyone's watching Dill, it's pretty weird because he's sort of like elastics from.
What's your move about scaring people, frightening them, or dismaying your enemy or something?
Go aggro, I think is
Like
the.
when
is
you
the
go
thing that
aggro,
I
you may
do
instead.
When I'm human flexibility. I don't have to seize by force to if I'm being
Okay.
horrible with my body.
I think that roll was also good enough. I think that it's gonna dismay or frighten that car behind you. At like to see the door kicked open and then this just like form come out and thin and like skin stretch up, like open up on the head. I think there's a swerve and like a crash into the wall from behind you, and
Yeah.
they're out. They're out of that. They have
It's like
been
a sweet home monster.
Yeah, they have been frightened out of this race for sure. But the button rotating on your dash clicks into place and sets on a excuse me, I think it sets up on 3 flame symbols. So like on the screen there would be 3 little symbols of flame.
Okay, well in this
All right.
air, Dill's going to yoink back into his regular man shape.
Elastically.
Just straight from cauliflower radar dish to human shaped Dill. Spigot, are you trying to make a move?
Yeah, where are we at? Dill has
Yeah.
snapped back to Dillality.
Well, we just hit the box, so we got that. So we're just out of the dead wood. So we're coming up on the needle car, correct?
Yep, car's starting to slow down.
Yeah, I'm gonna floor it and try and ram right through the back of the needle car.
I love it. I love it. Give me overtake another vehicle. Roll plus speed.
Don't see an option on here. Do a sick awesome trick.
What is the sick awesome trick?
That's an 8. I don't know if I'm supposed to add anything to that or just
Roll
straight
plus
8.
cool modified by vehicle speed.
Okay,
So
so then that's a 10.
a 10. Okay. On a 10, you overtake and draw alongside, but that's not our goal. That wasn't our goal at all. Our goal was to ram them, and you do that because that's what you were trying to do.
Yes.
Catch up and just smash them.
3 harm minus their handling.
3 harm minus their handling. Yeah. Which...
Maybe even plus some harm because we have spikes on our front.
Yeah, you have spikes. You're actively a ram. I mean, I think they also spikes. I think that those might even out in this one. You're gonna ram them. They're gonna lose a little bit of that. We're just hitting the ice, so they like really skid out and slide to the side as you cut through. Though,
I have a notion about the ice.
yeah, hit me because driving on ice is terrifying just for my brain.
Driving on ice is terrifying, but we are playing in a role playing game that has some fairly forgiving physics.
Cool.
So I feel like there's an option if you've got like just the timing. We are a massive vehicle with spikes on the front, and I think if we like wrench the vehicle at like the mathematically perfect time, we could spin drift all the way around this thing and like smack cars
on the way.
snowmen,
Yes.
whatever. We could hit the fire button and shoot fire out while we're spinning around. I don't
We opened the side of the door, like the serving window of the bus, and I'll just let the fryers go. We'll just close the door that goes back to the back kitchen.
Everyone gets in there and just hopes.
Yeah, we just gotta make sure that back door is closed.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're driving on ice and there are people behind us, that will make potholes, basically.
Yeah.
Damn.
It would.
Oh man. You
Damn.
better hit that button too.
Yeah, if
It's
you
oil
hit the
time.
button after you pass a few people spinning and destroying shit, I love it. I don't.
Of force
Gabe
of
is
nature.
right. There isn't a do sick tricks move, but every vehicle move is roll plus cool. So let's start there.
Here's the solve that I can think of.
Okay.
Is that it feels like a wheel wrench at the correct instant. So it could be if someone has a sharp, or if someone has a great cool score. A great cool score would also be fire here. To like turn the wheel at just the right moment. If we don't have a vehicle move that makes it happen. The best smart that I can put out there is +1. So I don't know actually that I am the character for this. But if
Yep,
anyone wants to like,
my sharp is a +1 for read a sitch to know when to spin out.
But if someone else who is sharper can like just yoink their hand in there and wrench the wheel.
I could. I have +2 to sharp.
Oh, let's see
Yep.
it, pedal. Let's see it.
Let me roll.
About to go into some crazy fucking maneuver.
Please roll good.
Yeah. I did. I
Okay.
did. It's a +2. It's an 11.
Hey.
And I get another experience.
It is good. I think with that, you push through
Purple
this
dice.
first car and you're starting to gain up on this. We'll say there's like 1 or 2 more cars, or 1 more car before that big group of 6 right in front of you that are all vying over this ice to try to like their speed is about half, but they're making good distance, right? Not spinning out too much. Little bumps, little knocks here. You see a little bomb get launched from one car to another and send someone kind of spinning, but they bump the wall and regain their composure. Pedal reaches over. Spigot is jamming on the gas pedal. Pedal reaches over to grab the wheel as you enter into a just like your first turn, and she says gun it, and then pulls the wheel very hard down, and you guys start to go into a spin around this corner. I think you do it at the time in which you're lining up with this first car, so your first spin bounces and like keeps your angle going. Spigot, I want also a sharp roll from you. This is more of a luck thing,
right.
but it's going to be based in sharp.
Let's go. Oh, that's an 11 plus 1 for a 12.
It's like that the reflexively react and respond, and like she is spinning out the car, and I think your immediate muscle response is to jam on the brake pedal so that I don't spin out. Like it's just you almost can't stop yourself, but you do at the last second, and you end up hitting the pedal like next to it, one of our unknown pedals, and you can feel a click on the back wheels as they reshift, and one of them locks up and the other doesn't, allowing this spin to like it really you almost have to like brace because the spin kicks into like a disc of spin as you're going down. I think with this, as it is, you've overtaken another car in front of you, and the 6 of these cars fighting are nearing the end of the ice, but we're not quite caught up yet. But we're almost to this main pack. You can see, I don't think much as you're spinning so fast, so I don't want to describe too much more in front of you. And then you still have your 3 fires power up there. Do we want to do anything else in this, or like as another action before we exit out of this ice? You guys have caught up really well. If you want this to be damaging, we'll have to do something to get this spinning spike death trap into that group, right? We can't hear you. Perfect.
Sorry, I muted
No?
myself for a minute. I would love to see if we can spin into them and hit the 3 flames as we get into proximity, but I also don't want us to just spin into oblivion trying to hit them. So
No, I mean that makes sense. I think that you're about as close as this maneuver is letting you get with the way that it's spinning, and I think that you slam your hand down on that button with the hopes that it's going to fire out the fire in front of you. You know, that's what we're imagining.
Yep.
When you hit the button, the 3 flames click down to 2 flames, and you are launched forward. The spin, like the circle becomes wider, but you're covering more ground, right? Because it's that flames that you saw shooting out of the unicar behind you. But with this spin, I think you overtake and get up into this group, and start. It's almost like a game of pinball in the middle of that, right? You're hitting a car and bouncing and hitting a car and bouncing and spinning, and they're going all sorts of ways. I think we need a couple rolls. Let's do a roll from everyone for like bracing yourself in this vehicle. This is a physically tumultuous moment for everyone in the vehicle. Probably like I'm gonna say a hard roll to just like maintain your your physical body, and then like holding on, gripping for dear life so you're not launched into the
That's a 10 for pedal.
That's a 6 for spigot.
That's also a 6 for dill.
Oof.
It's gonna be a 7 for
Dham.
Glorious 2 experience moment.
That 2 experience. That's a good one. Let's see. During this spin, pedal, you're belted in.
Really quick, I apologize. That's a 6, which I believe is a failure for me.
3 6s. Oof.
Lots of experience.
I think, let's see. Spigot, you smash your head on the driver's side window, breaking it out. You're going to take 1 harm from that, right on the cranium. The other 2 in the back, I think you're just flung. Like, Dham is flung in a heap and like,
I'm glad we got rid of that oil.
yeah,
Oh
right.
no, my bolts! My bolts!
The oil spinning out behind you. That's right. It's like melting all this ice around you guys. You guys are spinning out in fire. We're wrecking cars. The two of you also take a harm from just like being fumbled and thrown together. You clash into each other like bumping heads. It probably hurts still. I don't know if it hurts either of you more than the other one. One of you doesn't feel, and the other, I don't know if he can feel anymore from all the poisons and such. He feels a lot, but I don't know if it's pain. Let's see. That's just for maintaining ourselves. Is there a vehicle roll? I'm not going to worry about that because every roll leading up to this maneuver was awesome. I think you guys, as we exit the edge of this ice, up ahead you can see a really long straightaway into a spiraled tunnel that gets really small at the end. And it looks like it's angled up and just like way, way up, like you're about to go up one big spirally ramp. Yes. But we're in the middle. We're around these guys. We're bouncing. We've knocked a few of the back two cars like out and spinning. They've lost some pace on us. There's probably like 3 cars behind us, I'm gonna say, and like 3, maybe 2 cars that we're keeping pace with, and 1 in front of them as we exit this ice. But it's all like one big pack at the moment. And you have a straightaway. There might be a couple like pitfall traps in there, like a couple spike traps, right? But it's leading up to this giant metal tube ramp that you sent me a nice long text, Jonathan.
It was just ideas. and
Yeah.
stuff.
That one of those is about to be used. We're making our way up.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. I'm
Perfect,
following
perfect.
your lead. Yeah.
Just so you know, I want to, just to get us on the same page. Yeah, we're approaching the launch. If you want to give us an announcement now that we have shifted the ranks of our race.
Looks like our racers are finishing up lap 1, and with so many bad drivers falling out today, it looks like the road to Starlight Lane is opening up for our racers here. You kind of see the tower at the back. You see more cannons, fires like kind of pop off like a little. They're more like even. They're not hitting the road or anything, and like as they start coming down and like rolling around, cars will just kind of swift. They're kind of going off towards the other. And then and is this at the, where did you put the cannon now for the tunnel rather?
Yeah, like the end of this straightaway. Yeah.
The end of the original straightaway, like after the starting line.
Like just like they
Or-
have like a little bit of distance in between this ice patch and the cannon that's gonna, or the tube. Yeah.
All right, cool. And then you kind of see the tower start to kind of like shift a little bit more. And it looks like towards the top there's like a little bit of a wider cannon kind of appearing now. And you hear, and it looks like it's time for the kid to join the race. And as she finishes that last announcement, you see the last cannon fire, and from this kind of the starting line, and it lands like right in the middle of the pack. And as it's coming down, you kind of see it's a little protected, and there's a little car vehicle that has now a new vehicle that has appeared on the track. It's like a small little yellow coupe. In the driver's seat, you see a small person, body wearing a little bit of a beanie hat, wild hair kind of sticking out at the bottom there. And the kid has placed her car on the map now, and kind of just like slowing down all those other racers and then launching herself kind of in first place. And as you see, she kind of hits the ground running, or she revs up and starts going, and takes the tunnel full force to go launch it up into the sky.
Mm-hmm. And as she enters into the tunnel, you see that like the little hole at the end black out, and it like blooms up, and you hear a bang, and the racer, the new yellow racer, the kid in front of you has disappeared, shot off into the sky, and you are approaching that. But currently we're in a pack, yet have hit it. What do we do?
It appears we are heading to heaven.
Have we come out of the spin now when we're kind of settled into the pack?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Like, make the maneuver the action we took, and we're on to a new one, yeah.
I'm going to grip the steering wheel hard and hit the red button again for the 2 remaining flames.
Yeah, let's, this is an outdistance another vehicle for sure. I'm going to give you an additional +1 on this, so 10 plus...
I think
Cool,
you should give him
plus-
+2 because I'm gonna click the I'm Dickel and I'm here. I'm Dickel and I'm here.
I think you should give him +3 because I'm gonna hit the fire
Plus-
button again after he hits the fire button.
He presses the
first
fire button, and then
time.
you see a
Plus-
long arm come
a
up and
billion?
also press
Plus
the
a billion
fire button
points?
again. That's awesome. Just a 1 finger stretch from the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even get up.
I will give you a +2. I'm not going to give you a +1 from the I'm Dickel and I'm here, but I love it. I do. I don't know that it increases our speed in this moment. But the 2 flames defo do. So roll plus cool plus 10 or +2.
Roll plus cool plus 2. That is an 8 plus 2 plus 2. So
Damn.
that's 12.
That's a 12. Your first jolt forward pushes you up and into the car in front of you, pushing them slightly out of the way. We'll say with all these balls dropping in and like rolling, I was imagining that, like, you know, the like half bowl style where the balls are like
Yeah.
always rolling up and down. I just got that awesome little image. So as all those first cannons go off and the balls are hitting the thing and starting to roll amongst their like half pipe, that's what it's called. You overtake the vehicle in front of you, shoving them lightly to the right as one of these balls comes down and just squishes them as you roll up in front of them and the ball rolling behind you. And then the finger comes up and presses, and it says, I'm Dickel, and I'm here, and a second finger comes up and presses the button again, and you rocket ahead and into the cannon, firing out excessively fast. And as you fly through the air, you can see that the arc is taking you to this sky-bound track, sort of. I imagine it's held up by these, like, long... Imagine, like strings on propellers, you know? Just holding it up, as it probably would in Mario Kart, or they have the engines on the bottom, but I like the... Just little helicopters on propellers, big strings holding this track up. And your
The
speed
third
has...
Bioshock game.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that was it. Yeah, the Air City. You, with this extra speed, your ramp comes up, and as you start to come down, this yellow coupe that had outpaced you, because they launched themselves off, you are coming down on top of them, and they have to, like, scooch, like, slide, you know, what do we just call that? Drift. And they do a little hop slide out of the way, and you see a little sparks kick up, and then they drop out of that, and they're boosted forward a little bit, and now you're just, like, right behind them on the left of them. And now we're into this, like, sky-bound track. You can see a few of the other cars soaring through the air, about to land on the track behind you guys. Yeah, I think let's just start with what we do. I think that as you guys hit this track, like, you probably land right on a box. The kid scoots out. Actually, the kid hits the box that you're about to hit and then slides out. So the kid grabs the power up that you were coming down atop of to give us one start.
Can you describe the tires of the vehicle directly in front of us?
The tires of the vehicle directly in front of you?
Tell me about the tires.
Are these special
Just a
tires?
little yellow
Like
coupe.
No, they just look smaller than normal. They're a little bit wider. They actually have like bright orange rims, along with the bright yellow body of the car.
Pretty normal, but wider is good for me. I throw a knife at it.
Whip a knife at it.
8.
8. I mean, your trajectory is right, but you guys are moving so fast. Like it, by the time it would have hit there, the car is 2-3 car lengths up ahead, so it kind of clatters along the ground. I don't think much negative besides that's a very hard shot to make while you're a little behind them with a throwing knife. Though I imagine your propulsion might be the same as a gun. I'm not sure. You're dealing a shitload of damage. In the kids' dashboard, a button appears, rotating screen that rotates through and ends up on just a white, I mean, fuck it, it's a boomerang, a white boomerang with like a little band on the corner of it. And you have just a little bit of distance ahead of them. I'm gonna just kind of pop it into whoever wants to take action first, whatever group may call it, because you guys are the ones in this like head-to-head fighting for it now.
I mean, okay, well, I mean, the first thing is the starlight lane that the kid refers to in the sky. It's like
The
actually
track.
dark. It's like dark up here. Like I don't think any of you have ever experienced nighttime, so it's kind of probably a strange concept of, and then like all these bright stars and lights. It's like very dark but like twinkly, and even the road itself is kind of twinkling with the starlight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very beautiful sight, which is kind of strange for you're racing for your life in a wasteland.
There's no banks or borders, like you can fall right off this road. There are little splits in it that fold up like little ramps to give you some distance.
Welcome to Rainbow Road, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be just DCAM that would remember what nighttime is.
You might, yeah, you would remember what nighttime is. Well, it's somewhere in those memory banks. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I have a boomerang now.
Mm-hmm.
I think what the kid would do first, is she's trying to get ahead, and especially as the other group of racers are
Holding
coming
distance behind, yeah.
coming onto the lane. I think this is a good time to use my vehicle's weapon.
I love it. I love it.
What do I roll
agree.
for that?
That is just going to be, it's going to be a V harm situation. Let me look at harm again. Because you're just, why don't you describe the occurrence of this from your vehicle, and then I'll read our roll here.
Yeah, so as she's like rounding the corner coming off of with the item, you see like almost next to like maybe like midway, but like more on the passenger side than anything, a little mounted gun with like a little wide barrel pop out. And then as she's like taking that corner speed ahead a little bit, she goes, "Welcome to Starlight Lane. Eat my dust." And starts. And you just see like this. It just plugs out this little like ball as she activates her grenade launcher on her vehicle.
Fuck yeah. I don't think it makes sense doing massive versus handling here, because this is not a massive kind of roll. We have speed, massive, armor,
and handling.
And it says, how much damage does it say it do?
4 harm in a close area.
4 harm in a close area. Okay. Oh, when you suffer V harm, roll plus V harm suffered. Okay. Well, Spigot, still behind the wheel of the car. This ball is launched at your car, and it hits, and you see the beginning of an explosion. We're paused in split screen as you roll. Roll plus V harm, so plus 4. You want low.
That is a... That's about as low as you can roll. That was Snake Eyes. So that's 2 plus 4 is 6.
That is so good, though. That's really good. You do want low on this one roll. You on a miss,
Yay for
you
crappy
swerve
dice.
but recover without disadvantage. So that shot,
Ooh.
it lands in front of your vehicle and explodes. And I think the kid smirks to herself and looks in the rearview mirror at the little cloud of smoke, but you just rip through that cloud of smoke, parting it and rushing out of it. Her aim being just lightly off as we enter into these like low ramps all over the straightaway phase. Behind you, you can hear some machine gun fire, clack 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 clack, bouncing off of metal. You hear like the roaring of engine. You can hear imagine the whine of an engine as it gets faster and faster. Behind you, you can see the flames. Like a few cars are just starting to catch up on your tail from their power-ups that they've received. Yeah, what do you guys do?
Well, I think we've used all our current power-ups, so I guess Spigot would be scanning the road ahead to see if there are any other blocks he can get to as we try and keep pace with the little yellow Kid the Racer car.
Looks like up ahead, after this like small ramps and bumps all over all over the course section, there are these giant rings that surround the track, and right below the first ring, there's you can see up ahead the spinning boxes,
Okay.
ever so slightly there. So after this little
Um,
section, you'll have another opportunity.
I would like to make a roll about one of the spinny boxes. I'm gonna make an open your brain roll.
Yeah.
I'm gonna psychically attune myself to this next box. I got an 8. And that means let me go ahead and hover over here. You'll give me an impression. Which is a good box, I think to myself psychically. Which box is good?
I think the impression you've gotten is that they're seemingly random.
Deham shrugs and says, I don't know, just get a box.
But I will say that there is this small moment during that like rotation where it's being selected that you think you might be able to engage with if you can like get into the data of the vehicle, right? All this is connected somewhere, and the selection is not occurring right when you hit the box, it's occurring when it settles.
Interesting. I guess I lay down and I start looking up underneath the dashboard to see what I can get and investigate.
You hear the little wheels as he's like slides up on one of those like under the car dollies to look up under the dashboard. You're
I actually
driving,
have
you're shaking.
Heelys. I have Heelys on my shoulders and ass.
Oh, so that you can slide up under vehicles to
Yep.
work on them. Yeah, of course
yeah.
you do. Of
Yep.
course you do. Yeah, you start scoping that out, trying to get up in the machinery of it all. I think I'm going to look for, on our next opportunity from you, a things speak roll to get up in this. I have an idea, if you do well, that you might be able to engage with.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, do Dill or Pedal want to take an action to do anything? Not, this is not a like, oh, you're leaving something on the table. This is just like do you guys want to take an action before we advance? Action.
I don't have anything as of right now besides having now I've obviously back inside
Mm-hmm.
the vehicle. I'm
At a
not
minimum,
looking
I
up
will
ahead
remind
anymore.
you may not have like a bunch of weapons on you, Pedal, but except for your face breakers, which are exceedingly useless in this moment. You do know that one of those 3 dash buttons pulls out a very small handgun you can utilize.
That is true.
just
Okay,
in
that's good
case,
to think about.
just in case. I imagine it's like one of those really thin barreled, like has a brown handle, tiny thin black steel barrel coming off the handle.
One
Can't
of the
remember what they're
small ones that you can like put in like a thigh holster, like
Yes.
under.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got like a
Good
6-shot single
spy
stack
pistol.
magazine.
It's the gun you start with in any Call of Duty game where you're like, I can't wait till I unlock just one more pistol.
Just a little pea shooter.
Yeah. Yeah. But it does exist and you can shoot with it. Anything from Dill?
I don't think so. I think if Spigot's got the wheel and we don't have a great way to assault this vehicle, which Dill is great at assaulting, but we got to get up close on them.
There is a board a vehicle option when we get up there. Someone can board the vehicle.
It comes down to, getting up near them, I think, as far as what Dill's going to be effective at.
And as one final thing, I recalled, and as I was listening, Lawrence did say the word yoink. And so technically, it is picked up, even though we never talked about it again. But Lawrence did pick up an Uzi after the last fight. He has a submachine gun so as another like choice of some sort of weapon. I just recalled as I was listening, I said
it's in my
he said
chest
yoink.
cavity, but nobody has been in there in a while.
Just filled with cans and an Uzi.
And some broken dishware.
Oh, has none of that been removed?
Some of it has, but there's just a lot of it in there.
And what has fallen out as you've been taking other stuff out.
I'm surprised it's they're fragile at all. I was like, oh, like I was listening to the first couple episodes, and I was like, they're sandblasting metal plates. Like that's it, right?
No, pure ceramic.
Yeah, unfortunately inside, I've got bolts in there too, and whenever I take damage, the bolts just shoot out.
Fire around, you hear ping, 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 ping in his chest as he's shattering all the glassware he wants to use.
Yeah, like I get punched in the chest, and you just hear like a shotgun blast, and then the shattering of plates.
I love that. Spigot, did you do a thing?
I was aiming us towards the next box, so my action was sort of to preface us towards that next box.
Cool. Give me, since it still is in this case of you trying to keep up or like regain that distance that they lightly have on you. Let's call it the outdistancing another vehicle again. Roll plus cool plus speed.
That is, and speed is +2.
Speed for the Dilgo is, I believe it's a 1, but let's check.
Oh, it's 1.
It is 1.
So that's a grand total of 13.
Damn, the rolls coming through when we need them.
I have floored it.
Yeah. Okay. Outdistance another vehicle.
Oh wait, is that me? Cause I have to roll 2, right?
So this is overtake another vehicle. On a 10+, you overtake and draw alongside them. So there's no roll for you. Your roll was the attack, or your like action was the grenade launcher in this case. But they have overtaken you and are alongside you as the two of you come out of this little ramp phase. Maybe the kid has taken a little ramp up and you've taken one up, and you guys are just like, around and around, but you're keeping pace as we approach this next set of rotating boxes and a big hoop that surrounds the track. I think for this moment I would like there's a I think both of you, Jonathan and Spigot, give me a vehicle roll. Roll plus cool, and then you can add your either speed or handling, up to you. The goal, I think, is a fight over a box, because, like, the kid would know, and at this point you figured it out, we got to get a box to get a power up. And it always comes that one phase in the race, right, where you have the opportunity to steal the box from the person that you're, like, fighting for that place with. Yeah, so let's do...
I got a total of 6.
Okay.
I rolled a 6, but +2 cool, +1 speed.
Hey, okay. The kid attempts to do like a side shove to like push this Dilgo out of the way and secure the box. But the Dilgo's massive is just too much for this little yellow coupe to do, and the Dilgo is unmoved from this push and just shatters right through the upgrade or the little power up smoothly. the kids still maintaining theirs. But the Dilgo on the screen popping up now, a little green rocket. Little green rocket there.
Can I try and alter that result?
Yes, you absolutely can. Give me a thing speak roll. You're already up under there. Yeah. Roll well, and I'll roll again, and I'll let you decide between the two, basically.
13.
Whoa.
Yeah. 13's great. You either have the green rocket or
a blue shell.
a golden flame.
Okay, I'll take.
You want the blue shell right now? Do you want the blue shell right now? That would be funny.
Yeah.
Boom.
I'm not gonna use it on myself. Then we can fall into second place and use it right before the finish line.
What happens if you get to first place and use the blue shell? Like, what if you're in last place, you get blue shell and you hold it? What happens if you fire it in first place?
It hits you.
Does it just like...
Probably just blows you up, right?
Maybe it hits the person in last place, just to be mean.
I'm gonna be playing some Mario Kart tonight to figure this out. Actually, yeah, golden. You either have golden flame or green rocket to decide between. D-Ham.
Flame.
Golden flame appears on your dash. This flame is just a little bit larger than all three of those little red flames, but it's there on the dash. As the two of you enter into this giant loop on the track and are shoved forward like a giant speed boost, making the handling very difficult, but you are being launched down this track. Yeah, I mean, you guys have been rolling exceedingly well, so I'm not going to even be worrying about the cars that are behind you guys that you have super outpaced. It's really just this almost one-on-one fight at this point, between you guys as before, like maybe as you even enter that second boost and you're rocketed forward yet again. There's a few of these like tunnels, right? It like by the time you enter the second and are shot forward, you can see the first like group hitting that first boost. So you know you have pretty good distance on them, except the kid who is just right next to you. Like you guys are touching each other as you're boosting through this, trying to not, lose that pressure. Because the moment, if the kid turns off, your pressure is pushed over. If you turn off, etc. We're trying to maintain that as we're pushing down.
You said we're right next to the kid?
Yeah, you and the kid are like touching sides. We're like lightly bumping and pushing up against one another, trying to hold this pace.
And the kid is on which side of us?
The right side of you.
The right side? Okay. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lean out of the vehicle. I'm gonna flip the serving door open. And I'm gonna hold onto it with one hand. I'm gonna lean out where I can see can I see the back of the kid's car? From this far back on the Dilgo? I don't know how long the kid's car is.
I imagine there's spots in and out, right? Like there's probably a spot where he's like just right behind you, and then there's probably a spot where he's just right ahead, or she's just right ahead of you, and that's like moving back and forth, right? It's a moving target.
I want to be right behind, and I'm gonna lean out with one arm holding onto the window, and then with my other arm I'm gonna reach into my chest cavity. I'm gonna pull out an Uzi.
Pull out my gun.
I'm just gonna start shooting at tires. I'm just gonna unload on tires.
What's your car's armor, Jonathan?
+2.
+2. Uzi gun, I believe, is a 2er also. You are
2d6 +2.
Oh no! Just a all harm is just a flat number for the most part.
I get to just do it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you just. Yeah. Sorry, you're doing you have to do a sharp or act under fire, like same thing you throw your knives with. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The harm itself is established.
The roll is a 12.
The roll is a 12. Okay, yeah. You spray across this this car. The tires, while there and wide, there's a little bit of like a metal protective like skirt almost that comes over to keep someone from jamming something down into the tires while we're like trying to board or whatnot. You definitely pepper up the side of this vehicle, putting a bunch of little holes in it. None quite hit the tires with this shot, nor seem to really leave any lasting damage. With a 2 armor and a 2 damage, you've just caused some surface.
I throw the Uzi at the back window.
It bounces off. I'm not gonna have you roll for that. You hear a clink and it like rolls off in the dust behind you. That's funny as fuck.
Is this vehicle within dill reach now?
To board a vehicle? To jump out and board a vehicle?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we're keeping that space. The
Then
Uzi
let's-
has just been
yeah,
thrown.
Dill's just gonna launch himself swan-like out of the side door that D-Ham's opened.
Almost a beautiful dive motion.
Mm-hmm. Before
Uh,
becoming a meat spear.
Meat spear. Interesting words. Boarding a vehicle. To board a moving vehicle, roll plus cool minus its speed. So what's your speed, Jonathan?
My speed is 1.
1. So roll
Okay.
plus cool minus 1.
Roll plus cool minus 1.
Oh, minus the
No, minus the difference.
in their speeds, which I don't think there is a
Oh,
difference in speed.
Minus 0.
Yeah.
So just the
Even
cool.
better.
Yep. Roll plus cool.
I set down the on dice.
Oh no.
Ah.
2 other dice. I have 2 dice for playing D&D with.
Really, really consistent. 8.
8.
The goal when he jumped out of here was to jump out and to put his fist through whatever part of this car he lands on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna be the back. You're gonna put your fist through the back windshield where the gun bounced off, but you're hanging off the back. You're like
Mhm.
having to
I'm, like-
grip the glass
I'm
to keep
elbow
from.
deep in this car, but
Yeah.
that still puts me like kind of far behind it.
Your feet like every now and then are dragging on the
Mhm.
ground. You have to pull them up or suck them inside yourself a bit.
Okay, wait. I have a thing. My terrible body. My terrible body can do this.
Can your terrible body do?
I might be able to like stop this car because we're trying to win, right? We're
You're trying to win.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. My inhuman strength and reflexes might help me. I like if my feet can like along the ground, I can jam them in there.
Oh damn!
Uh,
Just try to stop the car from moving.
Yep.
I want to
With-
get sucked up into the gears of this car.
With your terrible body.
Yeah, with his terrible
Yes.
body. I like that idea.
Play-Doh Superman back here.
We're gonna like that. You're in the car and you're starting to develop that plan to like jam in and stop.
That works.
Let's keep this in bullet time. Is there anyone else that wants to act in this moment? Do we have a role from the kid? Do we have or an idea from the kid or even Spigot or Pedal?
And while you're thinking about that, let's quickly cut to Dill's inner monologue planning this plan. Dill body.
Also,
Dude,
on a
body
7 to 9,
squish.
you're on, but Jesus. That's what it says. That's it. This feels
Oh,
like a but
man.
Jesus moment.
Yeah, but Jesus for sure.
I really hope that Butt Jesus saves us here in heaven in this race.
Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably just oh fuck. Like, it's just, like, I'm just gonna try and put my feet down and stay. Like,
Just deranged animal noises.
yeah,
Screeching.
incoherent screams. Maybe the exhaust.
Creature, just creature
smells
sounds.
nice.
Mm-hmm. Relaxing. The
Relax-
exhaust smells.
Maybe he tries to like pull himself in for a quick huff off the old exhaust panel of the moving vehicle.
Would my boomerang button help in
Yeah.
this situation?
The boomerang button could
Oh, no.
always help in this situation.
Or if I try to outdistance, can I like wiggle and try to maneuver him off?
You can even try to like scrape him off on the front of the dilgo if you get in front, right? Because he's hanging off your back. So if you can swipe your back across the front, it might just like squitch him off.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's
Feels
try to
gonna
do
be
that.
like a pressed bug on the front of the car. Yeah, I think that then is outdistance another vehicle.
Do I
Alright.
see the dilgo coming? Scritch me.
You will,
Okay.
depending on the
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
We have the same speed, so there's just no modifier there.
Okay. Yep. Just a roll plus cool. Oh no, actually, this one isn't comparative. This is just outdistancing. So you're gonna roll plus cool by the vehicle's relative speed. Oh, because our speed relative to
no
okay. Yes.
modifiers.
No modifier. Yeah.
Okay. Math. What is that?
Which now that
That's a
we've
7.
That's a 7. Now that we've pointed that out, I've realized that I've given Spigot a lot of bonuses here that I maybe shouldn't have, because it's relative speed, so everything was based on just Spigot's speed. Oops.
We've been going fast this whole time.
Move fast and
So
Gotta
loose.
go
fast.
fast.
Fast and loose. Okay, so on this, you get to pick one option from this list. You outdistance and break away, but your vehicle suffers a harm from the strain. You don't escape them, but can go to ground in a place you choose. That is interesting. Or they overtake you, but their vehicle suffers one harm from the strain. I guess you can choose that on them too.
2 sounds like what you were going for, but any of these are options you can take now that you've rolled this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like maybe the first one, because I'm like intentionally smashing my car up, so I'll take the harm, but I'm in front, and
I like
like-
that. I like that. That all tracks up. Yeah, the hammering of your engine pulls you just ahead, and Dill, you can see this occurring. You can see that the back of this car is just overtaken the back or the front of the Dilgo, and she's starting to swerve over to like ram you into that cattle guard and scrape you right off.
Okay. Well, I've got like one arm jammed into the.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, then I'm just gonna Man, they're spikes. They're not really good for gripping.
And the front is just a cattle guard,
Oh, okay.
right?
Well,
You guys
then
did
I'm
you
gonna-
took one off and put it right on your car.
Gabe, I think you're cutting out just a hair. It seems like the
Oh, yeah.
noise cancellation is trying to catch you.
I'm gonna let's see. I'm just gonna try and sort of shift myself out of the way and also hook my other arm into the cattle guard so that now I've made sort of a wagon train of vehicles.
Connect the vehicles.
Yeah, I don't know. Could be fun.
I love it. Okay. Do that same. Use your nasty body roll.
Oh, no.
If I make you roll, it's roll under something.
Yeah, if you.
It does say I break away, so I be careful.
It's true. That's true.
Let's see if. Action required to hold the position for a long time, to take the most extreme positions, or to move while contorted.
I would call this the most extreme because the car is pulling away, and so you are fighting between the
Is he
forces
pulling
of the
away,
car.
or am I getting sketched off on the front?
I mean, it's a first then. Like she is moving faster, but as she's like doing it, she's just gonna scritch you off and keep moving up
Oh, well, in that
because
case,
of the roll.
in that case, I'm just gonna pull myself up onto the top of the car so I
It
can't get
might
scratched
just
off.
be me, but I'm not hearing a lot of Gabe anymore.
Yeah, no, he's
Yeah,
he's
same.
clipping in and out pretty bad.
Yep.
If it's a speed up and then a sketch over, then I'm just gonna hop up on top of the. I've got my arm in the back. I'll just sort of like a scuttly spider, rotate around my arm up onto the top of the of this car, and
Cool.
maybe I'll take a swing at trying to grab the cattle guard once we get over there. But if that hampers my plans, that's fine.
I think that one is. I think with the way with this setup, I'm not gonna need a roll from you because we're not connecting two vehicles. That feels like a lot more physically than just getting up on this vehicle.
I'm still gonna try and connect those vehicles when we get there, but like, If I can't reach it, I can't reach it.
The follow-up then is the outdistance. There's like one moment of skitch off. You're either getting skitched or you're on top of the vehicle, and then the vehicle is outdistancing.
Okay, so it is skitch first.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, then let's try and grab these. That's the most fun
Okay.
way to do
Okay.
it.
Since the outcome is an outdistance, like that is occurring, you're about to be stretched. I'm gonna give you a -1 on holding these cars together with your muscles. Is your rolling plus? Go act under fire. Go aggro.
Perhaps if I'm using my flexibility, the tricky bit of this is that my strength and my flexibility are different portions of this. Being flexible is the act under fire portion. Strength and reflexes is like getting bonuses to doing things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I have the same trouble that Jake has in Adventure Time with stretching.
Yeah.
Too much, too bad.
I'm gonna say this one. Let's just
Okay.
take it in. Let's go. I'm gonna give you.
Also, like it's 8:50. Just so remind
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Is there a big cannon we're coming up on?
I mean, we are coming up on it. I feel this is like a good action moment. You can act under fire to do it when a normal person would simply be incapable. That's it for me.
Okay.
A normal person would not be able to hold two cars together driving fast.
Roll plus cool. If I get a choice and I get ripped off, then I want to stay with the Dilgo. But if I don't, I don't.
Let's see how bad the roll is or good it is.
10.
A 10? I mean, I think with a 10, that's a super positive move. You are, and you get almost like pushed off, but you pull your legs up so that you can't get scraped. And as she starts to pull away, you stretch your arm out and wrap it around the cattle guard and just hold on. There's a moment where you look like, you know that toy, that rubber toy that has the two arms you stretch out to the side?
Armstrong.
Yeah, Stretch Armstrong, literally, where you're like stretched out and your body's in the middle and you're just like, no, I got this. But you're only able to make about 6 feet of distance in between the two of you because that's how far Dill's body stretches.
Oh,
Yeah, and that
Skeleton
was
only goes so far.
the kid's turn. Does anyone on the team have an action? We're just still in these like boosting phases. With the way that the map or the like ring or the course has been set up, it doesn't seem like it's like there is a finish line you're crossing. This is like battle cars.
Are
is,
we
you know-
still are we still like nose to butt of the car in front of us?
Yep.
Yeah, we're
kid's
dilled
car.
together.
Your nose to dill. You're dilled together.
We want to cross a dill bridge.
Dham says press 1 to, and then he like looks down at Spigot like more subtly, and he like holds his hand up and he points at the button that has the golden fire, and he looks at Spigot and he looks back at the button and he looks at Spigot. He looks back at the button. He looks over to Pedal and then back at the button.
The other one's like, press 2.
Press 1, 2.
Spigot's gonna hit the button.
Oh no.
We know the fire's coming out the back, and we know fire
Press
is
the
the
button.
thing that will do Dylan. So
Pull the
I'm
lever,
hoping
Kronk.
he's. Yeah.
Yeah.
You press it and that gold light just lights up and starts blinking, and you can feel several pulses of like the flame and the jet pushing you forward. You
And does
slam.
music start to play?
Oh, you're gonna slam into the front of the vehicle. I'm Dickel and I'm here. I'm Dickel and I'm here. And it's gonna slam into the vehicle in front of it. Dill, I think you're gonna be pressed and squished up into this cattle guard. You're gonna take.
This feels like 7 harm. All of whatever is gonna happen here.
I mean, I am gonna call it 3 harm, as you are just squished in between these two cars and forced up and into the grate, all
I'm fully
filled up in there.
Fully prepared to be at 11 o'clock for this maneuver that I've concocted.
Yep. You are injured. You feel squished and pressed, and that you can't like. even if we were stopped, you would need help being pulled out of this cattle guard for sure. But I would like this is a roll from the kid to see if you can maintain your vehicle. It's going to be, I'm going to call it deal with bad terrain because everything else fits, which is roll plus cool plus handling.
Okay.
This is to see how well you can respond to being absolutely obliterated from behind.
Pretty well. I rolled a. Oh, I actually rolled a 10.
Oh, really well. Yeah, at most, I mean,
Yeah.
you are pushed forward and you lose a little bit of your drive, like you're driving straight, especially while we're being boosted and they're being boosted from behind. There's so much input, like speed input happening. You lose a little bit and you swerve out, but you maintain, you're able to like get recontrol of the handling, but they, with the repetitive boosts of fire, are shooting up ahead, and they reach another gate before you do, and another gate, and then even, I mean, maybe by the time that golden fire slowly dims out on your board, you have just jetted and jetted and jetted ahead. And this is as they start to outdistance you, I would like a roll plus sharp from the kid. As you kept your handling, you kept on the track, you didn't spin out, but you can give them one last knock with your boomerang, just as a jaded.
I rolled a 5.
Ooh, a 5. This is good. Jaded.
I'll hit it. I'll hit the button. I'll hit the button.
Launches the boomerang out. It comes up. You see it incoming, Spigot. Your eyes get a little wide. And then it starts going backwards, and it's going to just collide with the front of the kid's car, and it's going to spin out and hit the next racer starting to come up. And there's a big, like, rough and tumble switch up there in the back as they are hit into almost a pile-up. And you are left alone on this track as you zip, 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 and pass through some, and yet another cannon firing you downwards and just right across the finish line alone. Because you took out all the cars on the track, or if they are going to finish, it's going to take them another minute or two, right? The crowd, that one person, as you cross the finish line, that one person stands up and chants, "I'm Dickel and I'm here! I'm Dickel and I'm here!" You can see some like screens that are replaying some of the things. The crowd is going absolutely wild. And I think that this is a great moment to leave it in, this moment of like uproarious joy over the victory of the moment, as the area around us starts to fade out to black, and the crowd noise like is slowly dissipating. You can see one final shot of a screen of that like replay screens of the kid's wrecked, overturned vehicle, and the door being kicked open, and a shape starting to like pull itself out of the vehicle and scowl towards the camera.
Throwing a full tantrum.
Kicking the car. Another racer tries to get out of their car, and he pushes them back into the car. Shuts the door on him. And we're gonna fade to black on that and do our history questions oh so fast so that Grace can get ready for work.
The person who knows
ready for
Dill the
sleep.
best is the one who was looking at Dill when he did the cauliflower head thing.
Oh yeah, who was in the back with Dill? That feels like a D-ham thing.
Was
Is he
DDaD.
cauliflower head Dill?
Almost certainly.
Yep. Okay, you get a +1 for Dill.
Yep.
And you're next.
Honestly, the fact that Spigot pressed that button, I didn't even have to do it. I think Spigot deserves it this time around.
Mm-hmm.
I think we
Spigot,
both learned a little bit about each other here.
+1 to history with D-ham. I think the two of you could do a buddy cop adventure after this. Like it's like all you two hanging out, and the other two are just like either being weird or having visions and not able to communicate about it because it's just constant visions in her head.
My big weird body and my big weird visions, featuring Spigot and D-ham.
Yeah, right. Spigot, who knows you better or less than they did before?
Oh man. The one I had almost no contact with this go round was probably Dill. So, and
So are you handing
I
out a
squished
negative?
I squished the crap out of Dill. Now, Petal was my co-pilot and my navigator through this. So, but did she learn anything about me other than maybe I'm a little more maniacal of a driver than she thought?
I mean, she can trust you to drive the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mine's gonna be a +1, but that's me. But I'm gonna wait for that.
Yeah. So I would say that's probably it. That Petal, with her guidance and my unnaturally good driving skills. So that's a +1 to Petal.
Cool, cool. And Petal, you say you have a +1 for whom's?
For Spigot, just because I realized that I was like, hey, go through here thing, do this thing, and we'll be okay. And he just was like, yep, I'm down. I'm there.
Yeah, yeah. Is willing to
So
jump
got a
on
blue
board and just
shell.
listen. Yeah, that's sick. Yeah,
That
blue
puts
shell.
us at a +4.
That beginning of the race was literally every single Mario Kart experience of my life. Like totally beefing it in the beginning,
Starting with a blue
and then
shell.
like beefing it
Yeah.
again and being in last, and then somehow managing to hit a box and then getting a blue shell.
Incredible.
Imagine people get so mad at me for blue shelling them. I'm like, that was totally an accident. I hope.
Seeing the blue shell come up as the first thing, I was instantly drawn back to like I pull out a gun, or it's that moment where you're like, I have the nuke in my hand that I've been waiting on. It's literally handed of the bomb. I love it. So good.
I was playing Mario Kart the other night to prepare for this, and in the newer Mario Kart games, there's a little sound box item that just like sound wave blast.
Yeah.
So, but next time you guys are playing Mario Kart, that item that destroys other items.
Blocks the
so
blue
it
shell.
destroys red shells,
Oh.
the green shells, and if the blue shell's right above you and you time it right, you can destroy your blue shell if you're in first place.
Mm-hmm.
So you know.
Mm-hmm. Grace is gonna learn. She's gonna come back and say, "Did you guys know that Mario Kart?" She's gonna be like 8th in North America when we return.
Mhm.
Jonathan and Grace are gonna be
Better
versing
watch
all
out.
the time.
I should get Mario Kart World. That'd be fun.
Okay, I think that is gonna do it for here on this session. Jonathan, thank you so much for coming to join us. I know
Yeah,
it's like
thank you
there's
very
so many
much.
voices,
to
and
Thank you for having
I
me.
really
Yeah.
like the input. That was so helpful.
I just wanted to be
Most
chaotic.
entertaining.
It was super chaotic. I really liked it. Thank you so much. I really
thank you
this
for
was a
having
good
me.
moment because it was like a brief, it's like half and half, like half DMing. I just like loved handing over, being like, and what comes next in the race, Jonathan? I haven't really thought that out yet. I realized at the second turn I was like, fuck, I don't know what's on this track. I'm so happy that I had you to be like, what's announcing next? And you're like, oh, there's all this. Fucking perfect, thank you.
Yeah, I was like, what are some fun Mario Kart things, but then a little more precarious and dangerous.
Yeah, I super appreciate it. Super appreciate it. Okay, we're gonna end our
Okay,
stream
good
here.
night.
Good night, Grace. Thank you everyone for coming on out and joining us today. We'll be back again next week as always. Look for the